We're here at the Elysee Palace, the official seat of the French presidency, where His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron resides, and His Excellency President Boakai is expected to hold lunch and bilateral talks with the French president this morning here at the Elysee Palace here in France. And if you look right ahead of us, we already are into the compound of the palace, and we are expecting to see the arrival of His Excellency President Boakai any moment from now. And here he will be greeted and welcomed by French President Emmanuel Macron here at the Elysee Palace, officially here in Paris, France. Here, if you look up closely, this is the official seat of the French president, the Palace Elysee, where President Emmanuel Macron resides. Just yesterday, President Boakai arrived in France yesterday morning at the Paris International Airport, and he was officially welcomed. And this morning, we are expecting to see his arrival any moment from now, where he's expected to hold lunch this afternoon with French President Emmanuel Macron. As we speak, it's up to around 30 minutes past 1 p.m. here in Paris, France, and His Excellency President Boakai any moment from now will be meeting the French president right here at the Elysee Palace. Now, if you look closely ahead of us there, you are looking at the arrival of the Liberian delegation. You are seeing ahead of us there the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You're seeing the Minister of Finance, Honorable Augustin Pay Ngafouan. You are seeing approaching. You are also seeing Madame Sarah Beslo Yanti, the Foreign Minister of the Republic of Liberia. There you have what they are arriving. You see Mama Kai Bilite also from the Office of President Boakai, Director General of the Cabinet. There you also see the Liberian ambassador to France. Now there you also see the vehicle of His Excellency President Boakai arriving here into the Elysee Palace, and so His Excellency the President will disembark the vehicle, and the French President Macron has already come out here. He's standing right on the balcony. If I can go quickly there and show you, there you have His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron awaiting to receive President Boakai. Now we see President Boakai is walking to the French President Emmanuel Macron. President Boakai is taking the walk. He walks alone, and French President Emmanuel Macron will meet His Excellency. They're both walking towards each other. If we can zoom out quickly, you see both presidents are there walking to meet each other.
In Dearborn, our parks matter. That's why we invested over $30 million into new playscapes, better pools, all without cutting a single core service and not raising a dollar in taxes. I'm Council President Mike Serini, asking for your vote.
For 86 years, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan has been there for every breath.
Oh, she's fast.
And always will be.
Now, with a smile on his face, His Excellency President Boakai has just met with the French President, President Emmanuel Macron, and they both are making their way in there. Let's run there quickly and see if we can get you a clearer picture. President Boakai will face the members of the press for the photo shoot, and he stands there with French President Emmanuel Macron, and now they're both making their way in there. All right, so folks, the Liberian delegation now is making its way in there into the Palace Selassie, and as protocol dictates, we can go in there with our cameras. According to the security protocol in here, we can go in there now to bring you more of this coverage here at the Palace Selassie here in France. But you just witnessed His Excellency President Boakai going in there. He just met with French President Emmanuel Macron, and they both greeted each other. He was welcomed by the French president, and he's made his way into Palace Selassie there this morning here in Paris, France. So as you are aware, His Excellency President Boakai arrived here in France on yesterday, where he was officially welcomed by the government and people of France. And of course, just this afternoon at around 1:25 this afternoon, he was received and welcomed by President Emmanuel Macron. And so now the National Guards have already officially welcomed President Boakai. They've already received His Excellency, so they will now make their way in this burst. His Excellency President Boakai was just greeted by the French President, President Emmanuel Macron. So as we speak, President Boakai and the French President will both have lunch this afternoon, and then after which they will also have bilateral discussions here in Paris, France. Let's see, as you can see, you watching the National Guards of the French Army upon greeting and welcoming President Boakai to Paris, France. They're making their way back there into the palace. And of course, if we can show you quickly. Now that's the official vehicle of His Excellency President Boakai now being positioned to receive him once he comes out of the palace there. And so folks, we'd like to say thanks for watching wherever you watched and followed us from. We just brought you a live coverage of the arrival of President Boakai here at Palace Selassie, the official seat of the French presidency, and we witnessed President Emmanuel Macron welcoming President Boakai. Both leaders are expected to hold bilateral discussions after a lunch that's going to be held in there here at the seat of the French presidency. On yesterday, President Boakai arrived here in Paris, France, and he was welcomed also by the National Guard of the French Army officially at the military complex there yesterday. You all witnessed the official ceremony when the national anthem of the Republic of Liberia was played, welcoming the Liberian president to France. But this morning, the official bilateral discussions with the French president will kickstart, and President Boakai have already met President Emmanuel Macron. You just witnessed the both leaders shaking hands there, and the French president was welcoming the Liberian leader. He has made his way into Palace Selassie already, where they both will have discussions. Here in France, President Boakai has several meetings to hold. He's expected to hold a meeting with ArcelorMittal. You all know the steel giant there in Liberia. He's also expected to hold another meeting with the French energy giant Total Energy. And of course, at the climax of his tour here in Paris, France, he's also expected to hold a meeting with the Liberians residing here in Paris, France. And so wherever you watched us from, this is a 4-day state visit that the Liberian leader is honoring here in Paris, France, on the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron. My name is Anthony Williams, and I'd like to say thanks for watching wherever you followed from. Bye-bye for now.
I saw it when he was a state rep, and I see it even more now working with him every day as mayor, but
He's a real person. You could talk to him.
He is someone that cares about the city, whether we're east or west, treats everybody.
Thank you, folks. Good afternoon and welcome back to LNTV. My name is Anthony Williams and I'm coming to you live from Palace LSE, the official presidential palace of the French president, President Emmanuel Macron. Just a few moments ago, this afternoon at around 1:25 p.m. French time, President Boakai arrived here at Palace LSE, where he was invited for a lunch by French President Emmanuel Macron. But also, they will both be holding bilateral talks. And of course, earlier when President Boakai arrived, you witnessed French President Emmanuel Macron welcoming the Liberian leader, giving him a warm hug, of course, with a smile on President Boakai's face. And he was officially received by the French military guards, and he was formally ushered in to Palace LSE, the official palace of the French presidency. So as we speak, President Boakai is still in there with French President Emmanuel Macron, and they both are still holding discussions here at Palace LSE here in France. Now, as you are aware, President Boakai arrived early yesterday, and he was officially welcomed, just as you saw the French National Guards welcoming him here at the French Palace, the President's Palace. Similar welcoming ceremony was held yesterday at the military complex, where the national anthem of the Republic of Liberia was played as a sign of officially welcoming the Liberian president to France for a 4-day state visit. Now, President Boakai's visit is fully packed with lots of activities that he's expected to form part of. Today begins the actual diplomatic talks with the French president, President Emmanuel Macron, once President Boakai arrived here a few minutes ago. So, as we speak, discussions are still ongoing in there. The Liberian delegation comprising of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madame Sarah Besloyanti, the Finance Minister, Minister Augustin Ngafouan. We also have some Liberian diplomats. Speaking of the Liberian ambassador here to France, Ambassador Tiko Yoli is currently in there. Also, Liberia's ambassador to Brussels, also closer to France, Ambassador Dema is also in there, forming part of President Boakai's delegation. We also have the Minister of State with our portfolio, Madame Mamakai Beliti, is also forming part of the President's delegation. And they're all in there as President Boakai holds bilateral talks with his counterpart, President Emmanuel Macron. And so as we speak, we await President Boakai to come out any moment from now. We are seeing signs. In fact, we have been informed by the folks here that any moment from now, His Excellency the President will be concluding his discussions with the French President, President Emmanuel Macron. And so we await his arrival any moment from now. So for those of you who are watching, wherever you're watching from, kindly leave your concerns in the comment section as President Boakai holds bilateral discussions with his counterpart. Now, let's talk about the President's 4-day state visit here in Paris, France, and what will be some of the meetings that he's expected to hold. Apart from holding the current bilateral discussion, which is one of the key components of his visit here in France upon receiving invitation from his counterpart, he's also expected to hold some business meetings and discussions with key investors, French investors, French business companies, or businesses, here in Paris, France. On Tuesday, when we arrived here in France, we had the opportunity. In fact, on Wednesday, yesterday, when President Boakai arrived, we had the opportunity to speak to the French ambassador to Liberia, and she made it clear to us that there are several French businesses or companies that are lined up to hold discussions with the Liberian delegation that's here in France. Also, she also made mention of Liberia and France wanting to go back to some diplomatic agreements that were signed back since the 1970s, to renew some of these agreements that were signed between both Liberia and France to equip or to bring them up to present day reality, something that she said will help to boost Liberia in French diplomacy, or Liberia in French relations. As we speak currently, earlier this morning, to react to some of those discussions that she spoke about this morning, the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs this morning did sign a very crucial agreement as it relates to Liberia and French relations. And so, speaking of some of the companies that I expected, or that President Boakai is expected to hold meetings with here in Paris, France, we've been informed that the Liberian leader is expected to hold special or key discussions with a steel giant or mining giant, ArcelorMittal. As you all know, ArcelorMittal has been operating in Liberia for over a decade now, and as we speak, their current mineral development agreement discussions are on the table for renewal of that mineral, agreement. As you all also know, ArcelorMittal Liberia has been making huge investments in Liberia, but also the government of Liberia also do have some concerns that they do intend to put on the table as it relates to the agreements with ArcelorMittal. And so, speaking of that, a crucial meeting is expected to be held here in Paris, France. And President Boakai will be part of that meeting, and he will be looking into some of the agreements between ArcelorMittal and Liberia. Also, speaking about another French company, you all know the French energy giant Total Energies. President Boakai is also expected to hold a meeting with Total Energy here in Paris, France, also once he concludes his discussion with ArcelorMittal. But that's going to take place on tomorrow. All of those meetings are all lined up and they are set to take place on tomorrow. Apart from meeting companies and businesses here in Paris, France, the Liberian leader will also hold a town hall meeting with the Liberian residing here in Paris, France. In fact, not specifically restricted to those residing here in Paris, France. Upon his arrival, we spoke to some of the Liberians who went on the airport to receive the Liberian leader, and some of them came from countries closer to France. Speaking of Italy and other countries that are closer to France, they all converged here in Paris, France, and they are expected to meet President Boakai to hold discussions with the Liberian leader as it relates to Liberia's development and how these Liberians can also have the opportunity to go back home and invest in the country. As President Boakai's trip here in France is solely about making engagements for investments to return to Liberia. And so we're getting signs that President Boakai will be out here any moment from now once he formalizes his discussion with the French President Emmanuel Macron. So I'm going to show you the beautiful scenery here in the Elysee Palace, where President Emmanuel Macron and President Joseph Boakai are still holding discussions here at the residence of the French president. And also, while I show you the beautiful scenery, I will also be bringing you up to speed some very key discussions, some key agreements that have been reached or that are expected to be reached between both countries. My name is Anthony Williams. Stick and stay with us. Keep watching and kindly put your comments in the comments section as President Boakai undertake a 4-day state visit here in Paris, France.
Good news! We have My Best Buy memberships for everyone. See how you can save time, save money.
Folks, so we're still waiting. We expect that any moment from now the president will make his way out. And there you have it. You are seeing signs. There's movement there in the Palace Elysee. Earlier, I was literally the only journalist here on the standby waiting President Boakai. But as you can see, the entire press pool is already full with international journalists who are talking about media practitioners from CNN, from BBC, from AFP, and also from across Africa. There are several international media institutions that are also here, as you can can see they are all getting their gear set to capture the departure of President Boakai from holding his meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron. And of course, the National Guards of the French Army also are still here on the standby, waiting to capture, also to give salutes to President Boakai as he departs the Elysee Palace of French President Emmanuel Macron. And so keep watching, folks. Let me bring you more details, like I said, as to some of the discussions that are being held here in Paris, France, with President Joseph Boakai. Keep watching, keep following. Stick and stay with us, folks. Keep watching. I'm going to just run you through as it relates to this 4-day state visit that's taking place here in Paris, France. So I'm going to run you through of several of those details that or those agreements that have been reached and here in Paris, France, as it relates to the president's 4-day state visit here in France. So both the government of Liberia and France have reaffirmed their partnership through signing a general cooperation agreement, renewing the framework of the cooperation between both countries, both Liberia and France. And also, as part of President Boakai's visit here in Paris, France, Her Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Beslo Yanti, Liberia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Her Excellency Eleanor Chariot, that's the Minister Delegate to the Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs, responsible for Francophonie or Francophone countries and French nationals abroad. They both jointly signed a general cooperation agreement on this morning. That's October 30 this morning here in Paris, France, at the French Foreign Ministry. Now, this agreement compasses various sectors of bilateral cooperation, including education, agriculture, the environment, health, youth support, sport development, climate change, renewable energy, forestry, and biodiversity, water, and sanitation. Now, Her Excellency Sarah Beslo Yanti, the Foreign Minister, also thanked the government of France this morning when they were during the signing for the support to Liberia's UNSC bid for the 2026-2027 term. Come to think of it, Liberia now sits on the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member, and the French government also did play a prominent part, or a very important part, in contributing to Liberia's selection on the UN Security Council non-permanent seat. So that's one major reason why Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo Yanti also had to make it clear and thank the French government for their contribution. So now we're seeing ahead of us the entry to Palace Elysee being opened. Sounds more to me like President Boakai is literally making his way out as we speak. So keep watching. But let's just show you there. We want to make sure once President Boakai steps out, you can see him making his way out of the Palace Elysee. Speaking about the signing this morning, that particular event earlier this morning, actually this did highlight, from what I'm looking at ahead of me, I'm seeing some of the delegates from Liberia. So we'll pause on the discussions regarding the agreement and focus on this event ahead of us currently. But what we're looking at now, I'm seeing Finance Minister. I'm also seeing Madam Sarah Beslo Yanti there, if you look closely ahead of me, walking out of the palace. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo Yanti. I also do see the Minister of Finance, Augustin Pehe Ngafwan, making his way out. And so this tells us that President Boakai has concluded a very crucial but very rewarding discussion with the French president right there. So it appears President Boakai. Madam Minister, you care to say a word quickly before you go out? Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti. Madam Minister, President Boakai just held discussions with his counterpart, French President Emmanuel Macron. You care to bring us up to speed quickly?
The discussions were excellent. We had a working lunch with President Macron and his team, President Boakai and his team. So myself, the Minister of Finance, the Security Advisor, Minister of State without Portfolio, DG of the Cabinet, and others, the Senator Daba as well. We had a working lunch where we discussed with them key issues. This morning, we signed a cooperation agreement between France and Liberia, me and my counterpart. And so the discussion was about how we deepen the relationship and how we look at critical issues that we can work on together, including peace and security. It was a deep discussion on security.
Thank you, Madam. President Boakai has already made his way out there, folks. Let's zoom in quickly. I wish we could talk more, hear more from the foreign minister, but there you have President Boakai and President Macron both there making their way down the stairs, and President Macron is and President Boakai are both having tete-a-tete there. Right after his very crucial meeting that was just held. You just listened to the foreign minister, Madam Sarah Beslo-Yanti, speaking of how fruitful the discussions were. And so President Boakai has now boarded his vehicle already, and he will now make his way out of Palace LSE. And folks, this has been an awesome coverage here at the residence of French President. And so French President Emmanuel Macron will now make his way back in. There you have him walking back in there. And there you have President Boakai departing Palace LSE. All right, folks. So thank you very much, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for following LNTV. My name is Anthony Williams. I really wish I could stay here and bring you more updates about the meeting that was just held with President Boakai, his counterpart, President Emmanuel Macron. But you did hear from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. She spoke about some of the key issues that were discussed. We'll bring you more details on President Boakai's visit here at Palace LSE, the residence of French President Emmanuel Macron. I'm going to make my way out there quickly. I'm in a convoy, so I have to run. But I'd like to say thanks for watching and thanks for leaving your comments. My name is Anthony Williams, bringing you this live coverage from
City government works best when we work together. Listen.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Vakar Bina here. That was just a little synopsis of President Joseph Numa Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, on a state visit to France. They say what men lie, woman lie, video pictures never lies. You saw that. You saw what that was. That was a state visit exceptional. Exceptional state visit, unlike anything I've seen before. There's absolutely no correlation whatsoever, and nobody can make any, comparison from what we saw and what we saw. Some of the quote unquote state visit that we saw in previous government. We've been telling people that if you see leadership at this zenith, if you see leadership at its best, that's what it looks like. That's what leadership looks like. Leadership with wisdom, leadership with consistency, leadership with absolute respect, recognition. That's what that looks like. That was an absolute show of respect for a very honorable statement. Every Liberian should be proud. Every Liberian should be proud of that. That's the leadership we're missing. That's the leadership we did not have for the past 6 years. And I'm not even going to go there because we saw how the past 6 years play out. We all saw that. It was a Kang show. It was absolute a disgrace, right? And this is why our brothers and sisters on the other side, they can't stomach what is happening right now. They cannot in any way sleep. Some of them are catching feelings because we have an edited statement who's literally and intentionally moving the state in the right direction. Oh, that's what you're seeing all the whole abalu going on, about. Because the president is doing what we anticipated. The president is doing what we expected. All right. And now don't get me going now. There are other areas that I have a deep concerns and a reservation for that which we can speak to. But when we talk about representation, when we talk about, that's how I want my leaders to be. That is how the person that's leading my country, that is how I want them to represent my country. That's what we're looking at. That's what we are calling for. That's what we deserve, and that's what we need. And that's what you also in our video being exemplified right before our very eyes. That's what it is. That's what it is. And right there, that should be the standard moving forward. We should not expect nothing less. Anything we should expect now should be more than that. But it should not be below that. It should not be less than that. That's the standard we should all be looking at now moving forward when we're selecting leaders. Because leadership does not come with popularity. This is why Liberians, this is why some of us, we've been missing for a very long time. We try to conflict leadership with popularity. There are people that are popular, but they are not leaders. They are not. Popularity does not translate to leadership. You can be popular and be a very, very bad leader. You can be popular and be a very, very mediocre leader at best. So we should not in any way equip or conflict leadership with popularity. Those are the two areas. You're listening to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Madam Sarah Benslow Yanti. Amen. Somebody once told me that Toure, whatever you're going to engage yourself with, make sure you know that to the best of your ability. If people know you to be specialized in certain area, make sure that area be your specialty. Make sure you do everything and exude or control over everything that have to do with that discipline. Look, things are not happening internationally because we are Liberia of old. Liberia is very, very old. Very, very old. Liberia is a very old state. Like, we've been there 100 plus years. 170 plus years. I can tell you what, 78 or 79 or 70, whatever. But that's old. That's how old we are. So we are not a stranger to the international scene. Liberia been on that international scene. Matter of fact, we made some of those international scenes, right? Talking about all of these international functions. Liberia Labro was not just a full soldier. Labro was a soldier. So it was just about time that we actually, move like that, right? Made decision, appoint leaders that exude those level of international maneuvering abilities. And this is exactly what we have in Madam Sarah Benslow-Yanti. She understands her assignment. She understands what needs to be done. She knows exactly what Labrador are lacking on the international scene. And she works with absolute no noise. No noise. People always say this, that the empty drum makes the loudest of noise. And that is so true. I mean, a year back, everything we heard about our country was noise. If there are not new music being released, the word Christmas coming, getting new Christmas jingle from the president. Or getting some kind of jingle from, you know what I'm saying? That's how we were being felt with for 6 years. We did not get any sort of respectability on the international scene. We did not get any sort of, state visit of this kind of magnitude. You're going for a serious business when you are welcomed so seriously. The business is absolutely serious when there is a ceremony to usher you into the country. Looks like that. And what is even telling, the link is in the chat room, Josh. What is even telling? It's, look, I digress. But people always talk about when they say you should look at yourself in the mirrors. All right, Josh, I'll post it right here. Wait for me. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with you in that chat room, my man. I don't know. So I just pinned over the Josh, so you can come in from there. Now he just literally took me off my talking point. But yeah, Josh, I'll link it down and you can join. So when you try to make comparison, right? And something that I also want to talk about, right? Something that was really on my mind I want to talk about is that little peck that the president gave the foreign minister, Madam Sarah Benslow-Yanti. Let me tell you, man. How old GMB again? That lady is almost like a daughter to GMB. And for any one of you to use that, how many times have we seen people give peck on the cheek to females? All of the time. But because some of you, your minds are so in a gutter, right? That little peck the president gave someone that could be his daughter, then you're running with it. Saying all kind of nasty thing. Come on, man. I mean, I understand politics is a game, right? We get it. But sometimes you got to be absolutely, calculative, right? You need to calculate. Sometimes you might say something that could backfire. Because anybody look at that and see that you guys are making issue out of that. I mean, it's not gonna look right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna backfire, right? Not every condemnation that they want to run with, and our brothers on the other side, they continue to make that mistake every single time, right? They are not very measured when they're trying to run with a story. They don't really make a thorough assessment as to the repercussion, or how that's going to play out when they bring them out. When you look at the president giving Madam Sarah Benton's Loyanti just a little, just a little bit of a, kiss on the and people want to run with that. That is absolutely disgusting. And I just feel like we always try to politicize everything. We try to run with every narrative. We try to, draw, noise, or at least makes noise about every little thing happening in the country, including something of that. How many times some of us are giving that little, peck. That is not, you don't consider that a sexual, sort of like that is absolutely, you don't, that there is nothing like you cannot in any way consider that to be sexual harassment, or sexual misconduct, or maybe the people are trying to be a little handsy or anything like that. That is not what that is, right? Like I said, you can look at that man, you know what I mean? You can look at a Pape history of GMB being ever accused of any sexual, misconduct, throughout his career, that people want to join with that and just try to make issue out of it. That is absolutely not right. Let me try to bring Josh on. See you guys. Josh, can you hear me there? Right, hold on a second. Hold on. What's going on here? There's something going on here, guys. Just wait. Let me figure this out. Nobody should talk. I'm trying to figure this out real quick. There you go. What? Now I can get.
Ooh.
Hold on, wait.
What? Where are you?
I'm right. Can you guys see me?
No, we can see you.
All right, hold on.
I mean, Amy, know the thing. What are you?
Can you guys see me now?
Yes, but only you alone can see.
All right, hold on. I need to bring everybody. All right, so wait.
You're doing it in a wrong something.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Look, it's going to work.
I can't believe this, Tourette. Don't tell me I got this.
No. Technology sometimes it like to it let the make fool out of people sometimes. But Amy, the ball is right in your court. I was just trying to warm the seat up.
Nah, you got this.
Nah, you got this, mama. I know Josh. I'm gonna have triggered something, Josh.
No, Josh won't come with his thing kissing thing too.
That one guy just running here real fast.
No, guys, I was just doing my assignment. I was just doing an
everyone.
assignment. I saw you guys also.
That look, I'm gonna trigger something, Josh. That one guy, Josh running right here with his.
Josh always wanna.
With Batman Shanghai Rambo shits.
No, guys, thank you very much for the show. Touré, thank you. I think I was listening to you and Sonny Trick, are you right? But I'm not about this kissing thing. I don't care about it. I just feel that the lady was overjoyed. Let me tell you, I know this lady. She worked for the UN here next to the country I live in, my country, my second country. She was in Nepal as the special representative of the United Nations Secretary General.
Okay.
And to get that position is like Jack Klein in Liberia. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To lead the United Nations, to be representing the United Nations in another country as the head of UN. When you are there as the head, you are head of UNDP, you are head of all the UN agency in our country. And she was one. So I did not have any doubt about her competence. What puzzled me in that short little movie is that how it has been hard for this government to achieve something semi-tangible that was made her so overjoyed that she went to enter into the papier. You know what I mean? For me, that's the only thing that baffled me. That was the only thing that baffled me. I was like, wow,
my man, you need to
this lady is so overjoyed.
You need to rephrase
this okay. Once I enter into that, look, man, sometimes when I'm so happy, I'm going back into my mom's stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
When she's there, I want to hug her, I want to squeeze her, I want to go into her stomach again. That does not, it's not any bad connotation. I just mean that she was overjoyed. You know, that's what I want to say. Let me just leave it as it is. And that was a little thing that, you know, a chill bump came over me. I felt her joy, but then I look at the reality of what she was happy about.
What was she happy about?
Ture, she was happy about this 3 years extension. I think that's the only thing I could see, because that's the only thing the foreign policy has now achieved that had never been achieved before in Liberia. But let's look at the whole thing on a broader spectrum here, Ture. I think you guys are very smart people, and no one comes on this show with limited knowledge in most of our topics. So I just want to say here, I think one of the major problems that we had in Liberia was the amount of refusal. Liberia is the first country topping the list, not maybe the second, because Iraq and some other terrorist country were tapping the table. But I think Liberia is in the first 5 or first 3 of visa refusal, right? So for me, what would make me really happy if at all America would say, okay, because we love WACA or we love the administration, or the administration is not kleptocratic, or is not Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, it is WACA government, we want to give Liberians a reprieve. That is, if you have, if you are going to school, or if you have anything, you can come and visit America anytime, or visa on arrival. Let's say visa on arrival. Visa on arrival, I'll be jumping up. But guess what? At 1 year, they used to just say 1 year. They used to give it to Liberians. That 3 years now, it will be harder to get it. That's the whole thing. That's what we should know. It will be harder to get it. And for people to be happy about getting it, for me, it baffles me. But look, whatever was achieved, it was a milestone. I think is worth celebration. But the level at which it's being celebrated, I think is over the top. And Liberians need to leave this mediocrity, right? And come to a realization where we understand that we are very important people. We demand respect internationally. We were the first independent nation in Africa. For us to be celebrating 3 years, why other people get 5 years next door? For me, it baffles me. But again, it was an achievement for this government. I think it's a hard-fought achievement, because I could see the joy that was in the face of the president and the foreign minister, and I would not take it from them. I would celebrate them. Oh. But I mean, there are few people that are going to set up that are going to gain from this thing. Mostly government officials, and it's sad for our country.
But George, to be frank with you, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Look, I get it. That level of excitement, almost it was a little bit kind of too much for me as well.
Thank you.
But wait now. Let me equalize that by saying,
I know you want to bring something else. Yeah.
No, because there's the thing. We are witnessing a leadership in Washington, D.C. right now that is absolutely unprecedented, right? We have a president who is unnamed in Donald Trump. And we also understand that Liberia, the relationship with Liberia with America, we have a historic tie unlike any other country. You know what I mean?
Thank
I can
you.
only say
Thank
the
you.
only country that have that kind of tie with America is Great Britain. You know, holding everything constant, I think, you know,
Mhm.
but and no country actually survive in this current arrangement of nations
Mhm.
that you don't have good tie with Washington. You know, like look at all of the financial institutions, look at all of the switch. I mean, all of these things. So you almost have to be at good rapport with Washington, you know, to be able to do anything. You're seeing what Washington can do, you know, the sanctions on countries, you know, freezing your own money, your own money. The people have the ability to freeze it, you know. So when you have in Liberia a country that is absolutely abysmal at everything, you know, we are not leading in anything. We are not leading in agriculture. We are not leading in ingenuity. We are not leading in education.
In technology, nothing. We are nothing.
Right? So if you have a country like that, it is hard. Let me give you an example. Do you know the recent list that came out October 11th? America had country like Botswana, Mali on that list of new countries that they banned. You know what Mali did? So almost like anybody requesting a US visa from Mali to go to come to the US, you have to almost deposit $15,000 on top of your application fees. And you know what Mali did? Mali also went ahead and said any American visiting Mali, you have to do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what?
Yeah.
3 days later, they updated the list. Mali were not on that list.
Yeah.
You know what
You
I'm
gotta
saying?
suck it to these people. You got to.
You know what I mean, right? So sometimes you will have to be like, you know what? No matter what, I'm gonna stand up for whatever I can stand up for.
Yeah.
But again, Liberia and Mali. Liberia, we are soft, you know, approaching kind of people. You know, we don't want confrontation. We don't want any smoke. Like the children say, you know, we don't want any smoke. You know, we let to capitulate to any demands. And that's because number one, we have not been able to salvage our resources to our abilities. With the immense resources we have in our country, we have not been able to use it. Look at what. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there because that's part of the topic that we're gonna discuss right now. But just
Ture,
on your mind, and then we're gonna get into topics.
Yeah. So look, you mentioned Mali, and I want to say this quickly. Liberia could be Mali, but Liberia is not Mali, and you're right about that. The reason why Mali is not Liberia is that we have resources, but at the level at which our resources are, Mali surpass that. If you look at the chart, the gold are in Mali. Recently, Malian seized gold mines belonging to Americans and French citizens and blah, blah, blah. They deported some French citizens and some Americans from there, you know what I mean? And the resources that are there, you cannot compare to Liberia. That's why when people want to come to power, they can say Liberia is rich. But our leaders are misusing our riches. That's why, to an extent, that statement is true. But to a larger extent, it's a lie. Let me tell you, people should not lie to us. Myself, I don't go in Grand Cru. Before I could travel, because I could go to school in Abidjan, I went on a gold mine and myself dug gold. Gold is in Liberia. But when it comes to gold in Mali, it's a different skill. And Americans would never do anything where they can get something from. We don't have oil. All that scam thing that is happening in Liberia there is a 419 level, where when they say, how they call it, when they say somebody money fall down from somebody find it, then somebody say, oh, people can find money down there. Oh. They know that somebody was passing money for them from there, that person find it, but people rush there to say, oh, money there. when they go that money that we were passing and you were taking money from your pocket and money draft. We don't have the marketable quantity of oil in our country. So we ain't get our bargaining power. You know, like today, you can't own a bowl. Let's say we open your business. We say we want to do an RT business in Liberia. Then you come, you say, okay, I get 50 computers and maybe 200 D-links, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't say I get one laptop. You think the power I will get in our company, it will be equal to your power? No. Everybody looking on the table, they're looking at bargaining power. We don't have that bargaining power. And again, strategically, we are I don't say misplaced, but we are in a bad position on the continent. Let me tell you, you see Dubai, plane can move from here and land in Dubai and go to Europe. It can land in Dubai and move from there and go to Africa. It can land in Dubai and go to America from there. You see it? Liberia, what plane want to go and land to go where? In the Atlantic Ocean? No. We are not strategically, located. So to even enforce.
So what are you saying? Plane can land in Liberia? What does that mean?
I mean, no, plane can land on the ocean. But I'm telling you that for people to have connecting routes, what will you be going for you to land in Liberia and go? When all the whole world is on the side, then you on the edge. Your place will be end of destination, like destination area there. That means when you go in, your final destination will be there because I read to the Atlantic Ocean, right? So places like Ghana, you can land in Ghana and move from there and go to Ivory Coast. You can land to go to Sierra Leone, go to Liberia. Ghana is placed. Sierra Leone too is in the same place as us, almost. If you see it, no connecting flight. The only time you won't fly from Sierra Leone is for you to go somewhere else. But it have for you to, even Liberian said sometimes because we implanted in a plane, they can carry to Sierra Leone and grab the most passenger. Then the 3 other on a plane they carry to Liberia. You see it? So we are strategically we are badly located as well. So it does not help us in that area. So we ain't get good bargaining power. That's our problem. But most of the time it becomes political because people want to make these things political to score political points. So let me tell you, when President Weah went into 2018 to France, he went there, he had a bilateral meeting with the French president, Macron. Macron called him my brother. And guess what? President Weah told him about youth development and youth empowerment. And in that meeting, he pledged $10 million. And he came to Liberia as a budgetary support for implementing youth programs like the waterways, the bridge and waterways programs, We hope that Boubacar will get something from there as well.
How does that have to do with the youth?
That the youth they employ to do it. Youth they employ. Yeah, guess what? When we're choking outside door then, that the youth that they can go and bring rocks put it there. I say they were working with youth and sport. You get come on. When you're doing it, you can spot the show. Because you laughing like this, you can spot the show because I'm talking logical things. Yeah, but then you. Yeah,
you. Then he said something. But maybe you said you.
Okay.
Then he said something that
go and Google now. Yeah, go and Google now the waterways project, the program in Liberia. The beaches and waterway program. Who are the ones that employ? They use it to employ youth in Liberia. What they can do now? The youth now they can engage in the climate mitigation projects. Like planting trees at next to the beaches or taking rubbish from on the beach, and also go and Google it now. Yes.
Which one of the places were taking garbage and planting trees?
It's on the UP government, on the CDC government as well.
Then why is that which way the CDC government was planting trees and taking out garbage? They forgot West Point?
West Point Center have projects there for beaches and waterways. Google it. It don't have to check on. If you don't have the how they call it, the information, just Google it.
Because we had people from West Point. I came on this show talking about
and say what
that community has been this and that, and a lot of things going on there under the Weah-led government.
Even the Australia are living here next to my house here.
No,
the water, when I came to Australia here, the water already. Guess what? They get all the projects here.
You just talk the whole show. You talk for how long?
Okay, you go ahead. Your talk. All right.
Now you go and say you go ahead, your thought.
Yeah, man. You we might get a whole show for you want to talk.
George, man.
Or
When you coming back?
no, you can't be doing that. You
Moses
talking about the
is
show,
George
you spoil the
talking.
show. This is what's spoiling the show. Not laughing, spoiling the show. You can't be opening and closing it. Something you can't do that. So
Amen.
yeah, let's go ahead to Ray. My camera looks blurry though. I don't know why.
Yeah, I must say I'm seeing the same thing, but I think it has to do with I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know what that's my screen too, but
It looks blurry.
anyway, so yeah, I mean what's happening in the country, obviously the president the Paris trip has been buzzing for all of the right reasons. I think the president was giving a state welcome, a state welcome at a higher degree of recognition. And that's what leadership is about. People take you so seriously that they are willing to roll everything out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to go back and forth about what was some of the experiences under President George Manuel Weah. But everybody can see, because it's not about what we saw over there, but what happened to get to what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
The diplomatic work that happened, and that speaks volume to the foreign minister, Madam Sarah Benslow-Yanti.
Mm-hmm.
What a professionalist she is, talking about a seasoned diplomat, someone that have shared a room with some of these, big leaders and actors and actresses. It's different when you have experience in a room and you come in that room than actually not being in that space at all. And any one of us that have worked in a professional setting, we know that doing our first radio, obviously, it was a little bit kind of different, especially if you don't know your footing and all of that stuff. It takes you a little time. And you don't have to be a seditian or any, just be a librarian. Understand that there is a level to international policy and diplomacy. Somebody that been there, and George alluded to this lady, working in the United Nations and for a very long time. So she knows how to cut some of these deals. That come with years of experience being in that space. We had a foreign minister on the CDC, Mr. Kamanya. Sorry if I miss
butchering his name.
But he was some kind of obstacle to his ability to.
He was kind of stagnant.
His ability to effectuate his work was kind of hampered by a sexual allegation that was over his head. By even making his travel to be limited. He could not travel to the States because of that. And the president did not, the president decided to keep him on, So how can you work? How can you connect with the international partners? If you have this huge sexual allegation hanging over your head. So these are some of the decisions that hurt the CDC-led government. Was it a foresight for the president to have said, okay, my man, we know they did an allegation on you, but because they're affecting your ability to execute your functionalities, we're gonna have you sit aside, at least come and work in the executive mansion with me, and have somebody else tap into that.
But the
president didn't do that.
The thing about it is that, you know, what I noticed that happened with the CDC like government was that there were two should I say cocky or what's the word I'm looking for? You know, kind of like we were talking to them. Let's not something like we would do it so it can hurt them. You know, kind of mentality like that, right? That
Right.
kind of arrogance. You know, something to say someone saying something and they think that it was being said because they were in power. Like when Mr. Cummings tried to offer like advice to the weird Lego, and then what they told him was to go sell Coca-Cola, sugar water, right?
Right.
You know, having the right people in the right places, and these people were saying things like this because of their country, right?
Mhm.
But people were just so, you know, like they were just in it. They were in itself. Oh, that what time here? You know what I'm saying, right? Kind of arrogant about things like, oh, let's do it so it can hurt them. You know what I mean? And it was, and they thought they were doing it to hurt somebody, but it
Right.
was actually hurting them. Even though they hurt the country badly, like Trump would say, very bigly, but
Right.
they were also hurting themselves too. You know, just because someone is opposition when they're talking, you're always looking to what they're saying. Everything shouldn't have to be like, you know, a fight with you to think that everything everybody's after you. You have to pick, you know, what to accept and what to let go, right?
Right.
Even when people were talking about corruption, the ministers or whatever they were stealing, they are doing it. There was nothing done about it because they had that arrogancy. Like it's our time. They did it, so it's our time to do. Like it was a need or somebody daddy's farm, right? That everybody had to come and get their own a piece. So since it's our own time, don't say anything in it. We will do whatever it is that we want to do. And no, that is a country for everybody. That is not your private property. You cannot have the mentality about it. So that's why and Kimaya was stagnant. I don't even know since they appointed him. I knew nothing about what he did, where he went, what you know. And this lady, she was excited. That's what the assignment was about because and President Wagner gave her a peg on it. She like it's like, you know, my faithful servant in whom I'm well pleased, right?
Oh yeah.
He's happy with her work and whatever she's doing. They can go ahead and take that and be be perverted about it and go because that's what they do. But we all know what that was, you know.
Yeah, money for inside, man.
Something. What? Can you mute? Yeah, they a little gesture. They can throw people off.
No.
So yeah, they can do all of that if they want to, but we all know what that was, right? So I mean, even when the French president gave the president a head like this, you know how French people can go like this. They wanted to take that one something. I'm like, wow, are you just looking for something out of nothing? You know, like.
Well, they're trying to find something.
Yeah.
They're trying to find something. I mean, that's
ridiculous. And you said it right. If you keep doing that, it backfire on you. You think you're doing this, but it makes you
because
like,
people will see the truth in it, right? People will see the truth in it. If you look at the peg the president gave the foreign minister, right, you can see that obviously it was like a father-daughter kind of moment, right? And look, Josh, void of politics, bro. The diplomatic work that lady did to get Liberia to not only get that 3 years extension, but absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's big. And a lot of time we can also see what Liberia had to do to get to that point. And a lot of time people say, well, Liberia had to agree that Mr. Alberto Garcia will be coming to Liberia, you know, all of that stuff. Maybe that might have sort of, you know, softening that whole decision by the Trump government. But that's what we call diplomacy, bro. It's a give and take.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There's something called quid pro quo. You know what I mean? Like you have to give something to gain something. And for all Liberians sitting in Liberia right now wondering, the guy that guy might not even go, because
I don't think he's going to.
there's a
They're still
Supreme Court
fighting it.
judge here who's saying absolutely not. So basically, you can sit there, and for the record, let's assume that he's leaving, right? Or hypothetically speaking, let's say he goes to Liberia. Don't be afraid. This guy is not a criminal. There is absolutely no nobody have come out, to say this guy is a criminal or he associated with alleged gang.
You need to stop doing this, man.
So let us put that aside and not worried about that at all, right? But George, if you work on something,
George, making the show look ugly,
right?
You eating and you on the show,
right? If you work on something, George, if you work on something like the engineer you work on a bridge project, and you see that project come to fruition, you see cars then traveling over it. But man, that is a champagne spraying kind of moment for you, right? And that's what happened in diplomacy. The lady got that phone call that America have you know what I mean? Like, that is a celebration. And that's
let me read it. With a formula.
Can I make a comment as well?
No, Judge, you had a whole 10
No,
minutes.
that was my opening. That was my opening.
Let me read this, then but the same thing you're talking about in your open. Let me read it, then formula come in, then you'll come. So this was a post today, like what we're talking about, right? To Ray, with the looking for something out of nothing, right? This was a post from what his name? What they do, Carrasco. He said, "How does getting a visa translate into food, medicine, school, feast, and job for the masses and many others? When Liberians in the U.S. were crying out for the government to lift its voice for what? CPS, Boaga told them that America, not their country, was their concern." What? Okay, we'll just leave it like that. Trump should deport them. This is the truth definition of hunt for achievement. Formula coming because I got something to say. I don't want to say and people say something. Listen to somebody like they're talking about food. Because since us Liberia, our own problem is just food. We don't want nothing to group for ourselves, nothing to do. And the food he talking about, they never even gave it to the people. When even India gave out food, they stole it from the people. Now that they know that the people are hungry, but come here when you finish before I even go there to deal with it. Nonsense.
Thank you very much, Amy. It's been a while since I've been away for a little bit, taking care of some issues, but it kind of little big and comical when you look at, that's what the Englishmen call grotesque. I don't know whether judge know the word. When I say something is grotesque, that means that's how the seditions and their thinking is, everything is just, I don't know how people will be in a country where everything must be about politics. It is becoming so annoying to the point that even their own supporters have now, turned against them. Because if you even go to the comment section of that very post, if you read the comment that was coming from impositions, not opposition and not ruling position, but imposition. If you even read some of the comments that are coming from their own partisan, do you want to look at or put in front the issue about rice and food for Liberia? In fact, one of the commenters said, we don't want food. When we get to America, we'll eat better food. You laugh, Josh. Now your own people telling you that.
Because I'm nonsense you're talking.
Because of the trash that he wrote over there. You run a government, you run a country that was heavily embargoed, that was heavily loaded with sanctions because the minister were stealing left and right, and they should be the crumbs to our people and subjected our people to modern day slavery. And this is the pattern you guys want us to continue with. Now that we have a new government that is now instituting policies that will protect Liberia long-term future, you guys are angry. But I told you that until the rotten tooth is pulled out, the mouth must chew with caution. You cannot keep telling the Liberian people that food, that medicine, that this, that tabata, or all that thing you're talking about, that it will eat or that it will live at. Look, the Liberian people deserve better. Until we can put our common denominator first, we are not going nowhere as a people in the country. The reciprocity that you see happening over there, it is because of strong diplomacy. It's because of the leadership skills exhibited by the president. It is because of that beautiful English that President Bouaka spoke at the White House today, and the ingenuity of this decent lady called Honorable Sarah Beslo Yanti, that used her repertoire to speak with this man they call Marco Rubio. Today, the U.S. government was able to look into that direction when the foreign minister reminded them that we agree on a compact that when we give you 3 years, you give her 3 years, and they say, "Oh yeah, that's true." And today you have Liberians are celebrating, and we know that there's a lot of problems and a lot of other lapses on the other end. But why can't we not celebrate this little game that tomorrow when the bigger games come, we'll already know that we've benefited from a little game. Look, God going to bless you if you are appreciating the little ones that He offer you, and then when the bigger one come, you will know that in your little time you appreciated a little I gave you, so I can give you a little another bigger one. So I am positive that this is a giant step. We are gradually moving there. Liberia is now hosted among Committee of Nations. Like today, the president met Emmanuel Macron in France, and you saw all of the gestures. You saw when a presidential material appeared, you already know. Now somebody will go stay and seeing bread flying and leaving your hand in the air. There's some kind of and I don't know how to describe it, but you saw the carpet being rolled for President Bouaka. You saw the marching order, and everything was so unique. And you saw the greeting, man. The greeting that the French president gave to President Bouaka is not just an ordinary greeting. When we were in student leadership, when we had and part of the official meet, we used that.
All the time giving that, y'all give it a meal.
My man, you had all the time in the world. You said nothing yet. All you said was all negative. I don't know who even made you a Liberian. Sometimes we say you a Kev Hassan. What are you from the same column? You behave the same. Any good thing that comes to the country, you guys spin it and find all kind of way. But Carrasco, Carrasco is right to do what he's doing to the Liberian people. The man that is on record of insulting his own people, calling Liberians dogs. So I'm not surprised. The little boy from Little Ware was given opportunity to go sit down to be special assistant to the president. He misbehaving all around the place today because of the little change that you're able to do from the Liberian people cover, and he think that he can come back and post slap in the face of the Liberian for celebrating a very huge milestone that this government have initiated and creating a very successful path with the #1 economy in the world. Who would not want to be happy with America?
Thank you.
Your brothers can come here on a 3-year visa, they can go to school. But anyway, citizens don't let school business. So some of them not see that as a school opportunity. So they don't want to look at that. So Josh, I'll get it back to you, Josh, to come in and say what you want to say.
Get back to me. I'll give it to him.
All right, Turina, let me get to you. So this mayor.
If you get Gil to join you, you'll be giving it to him with absolute uncompromising relegation. But anyway, Josh.
Yeah. So look, thank you guys. And I don't know, my brother, Formula. You know, when people are maybe
You
have
come
the
in beginning
deficit
to
of
sound like Kev
voice,
Hassan. Look at him.
deficit of voice. If you don't have adequate voice, you can take long to express yourself. But I will forgive him because we've been on the journey for a while now, so we know each other's strength when it comes to what I know my brother for is to be using all of these proverbs. You know what I mean? It amuses me, and I like him for that because sometimes Chinua Achebe said in the book Things Fall Apart, he said proverbs are the oil by which words are eaten. And that simply tells you that, like you get rest. Anyone oil if you eat a rest, so you can use the oil to eat a rest. So you can say small words in proverb and it means something really big. So that's the thing. So I appreciate that. But that's what I always love him to come on the show. But here's the thing. Let's look at the two presidents, President Weah and President Boakai. President Weah got inaugurated 2018. That same 2018, he was invited by the French president, Macron. President Boakai was inaugurated in 2024. He got invited 2025. That is almost in 2 years. And so if you look at the urgency, what the two people place on each other, the French president placed on the two presidents, you know that one of them was instantly, come, let's go, let's talk. Congratulated him. That was the first place President Weah was invited officially to go. And there was a motorcade. I saw that the French president came outside when they opened the car door. President Weah came from there, shook President Weah's hand. They walked upstairs with his wife, and then his wife, President Claire Weah, waved to the crowd. President Weah again here. President Weah shook hands. They took pictures. Then they walked inside. We had their bilateral meetings, and the meeting was circled around youth empowerment. Because at that time in France, there was riot for youth unemployment too, and people acting crazy. So when President Weah told him about the problem that he was facing, he said, you know what? Budgetarily, we'll give you $10 million to empower the youth in Liberia. So that money was brought to Liberia. We are hoping.
That money was brought to Liberia.
What happened to that money? But just said there were plenty.
But listen, the thing is not if you go to the budget of 2019, you will see the budget line there. So I don't know why you guys are laughing, because when you guys do these things, it sounds as if you don't know how government works. When he said I'm pledging $10 million, he didn't give it to him in a suitcase. They don't do that. I don't know why you guys think they do that.
Oh wow!
It perplexes me when they say I'm pledging this, it gets sent in wire straight to this to how they call it to the central bank. That's where it goes. So I don't know why you guys would think that when they say, "Oh, I will give $10 million," they took out the grip and give it to the president. We have to get a grip that $10 million. It wasn't like that.
Josh.
Yeah,
so
no, but
that's want to be saying that here because
Central Bank
said that when
Central Bank where the people
when you see you were talking your own, I did not interrupt anybody.
Nobody interrupt.
My boy, you're ready to talk. If you don't want to do it, so I can go.
No,
so I can praise and sing here.
Okay, let go.
Everything you fighting to
go.
No,
because I want you to do all the time. When you're talking, I can be very quiet. Sitting down. I can be very quiet, but soon as I open my mouth, the gas on you. You're just inflamed.
Every time you're talking to leaders, somebody get money in the pocket when you're calling.
Emmy, I'm speaking. Give me the chance. Even you can be wholesale, you gotta give me the chance. Let me speak.
No,
now my turn.
Question.
No, you're not asking me a question. I don't want question from you. Let me just speak. When I'm finished, you can ask the question.
Decide that, brother. You don't get to decide that.
Okay, y'all go ahead. Your talk.
I ask you a question if I want to.
I'll go ahead and talk. I'll wait. Your talk.
Yes.
I fulfill my time. Your talk.
I get time. I can only check you when you said that
Yeah, but
every
it's
one of us
dangerous.
think that
No,
when
I'm not
countries-
sure. I forfeit my time. Your talk. I will be here. Watch. I will
No,
listen.
you will
I
still
even want to eat my
come,
food. Say my food getting cold beside me. Yes, sir.
you will still
So you
come
go
in,
ahead.
you will still
Right,
come
go
in and
eat, man.
conclude your
You
thoughts,
hungry?
right?
That's why
I
you
wouldn't
eat
say
outside.
when you said so guys, let you take it one at a time. I wouldn't say when you said you don't know why we think that when countries make commitment to other countries, let's say when the French government said they were giving 10 million euro to Liberia for youth initiatives and all of that stuff. It literally just, well, excuse you, you said we just assume that money is being handed to them directly. No. That's not how funds are transferred. We understand that. So I just wanted to just say that, for you to continue. So people that are listening to us, they
It was a collective pronoun. It's a collective pronoun. It wasn't directed to you.
Well,
Yeah. So it's a collective pronoun. Just English. I just say it's a collective pronoun because I was just saying, yeah, it's collective. It's not just you. I did not say why Toure thinking like that. Why Amy thinking like that? Why they formula thinking like that? I said, I don't know why people think like that.
See,
That's what I
guys,
said.
he specifically
Okay,
said,
you guys, even when I say you guys, it doesn't mean you. You know what I mean? Be specifics, But look, let me finish. Let me finish because I know the thing here. You don't let it fact. When people are saying the facts, you're trying to interrupt them to just get them off their rhythm. But the rhythm. But if you say a lie, go and check in the budget line. It's there. Youth and sport on a youth and sport budget. It's there. The 10 million France CFA. It's there.
Okay.
So I don't know what is that. What the thing? The thing is that one president was invited in the same 2 months after the inauguration. The other president was invited and was given 10 million to take to Liberia, to fight for Liberia. And then this other president, almost after 2 years, he was invited. Let's see what will be given. For me, I'm saying, because I'm happy when they gave money to Liberia because I feel that we got so many needs, for financial, resources that I want to use. So anything that can help. But this president have gone abroad more than 15 times now. He has brought a penny back home. A penny. That's why nobody has ever looked at him and say, I'm giving you this. I'm pledging this to Liberia. It has never happened since Bouaga became president. And then you want us to come here to be happy for 3-year visa. And for your information, when they say 3-year visa, it's not a visa for school. The F1, that visa for school. They want that B1 and B2 visa for tourism to go visit family members. That does not permit you to school and to just go and maybe do a business venture. Maybe you want to buy things and take them to Liberia. You're a business person. That's what the visas are for. They're not for you to go there and go to school. And you're talking about, and that's what the misinformation is. And when people don't understand that, they get happy for nothing. And at the end of the day, they will get angry with the government. Because when they go to the embassy to get a visa, they don't give to them. They will ask you now, why are they not giving you the visa? They say, Sarah Bezo and Yanti already talk about it. They're supposed to give it to you. They don't get it because there are special things that you're supposed to meet to get it. And I'm thinking when they say 3 years, you're not going to stay 3 years in America to sit down there. There are multiple entries. So you can go there, come back, go there. I can't finish now.
No, but you're finishing now. No,
but my man, formally we're talking here, he talk for the longest you could talk.
George, you always whiny about something on this show. Yeah, seriously. Whenever somebody saying thank you, you whine down and something. Every time they tell you something,
I'm not even saying that any good two complete ideas.
Because you get nothing to contribute. That's the problem there.
All right. Y'all go ahead.
You sound like a hungry man.
Stop that. You always come in. You somebody all the time you had a talk. You talking about you had all the time to pull up your ideas, but you tell it.
Okay, y'all go ahead.
Somebody
Amy is done. Is go ahead.
Somebody came in 2 years, and somebody came in 2 months after. I don't know what I have to do with anything. First of all, when President Bouaga became president,
sit on there. Yeah, fool.
Yeah, please mute. When President Bouaga became president, President Macron was fighting Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So he had no time to be. And how are we even talking about visiting President Macron? Like it's supposed to be the timing is supposed to be something like so big because President we had our rent after, so it was a big deal. And something you said, and I want to tell us how when people pledge money, how it works. You all of us all the time come here. President Baga go here, bring nothing back. We always telling you that you don't put the money in your grip and bring it. That's not how it works. Then you don't want to be here. You're talking on both sides of your mouth. So then you said when you started, you said you're happy. Now you're coming back again. You said if he's 3 years visa again, that's something to be happy about. So I don't know what we're listening to. You just all over the place because you looking for you want to criticize and then you want to make yourself look like you're a patriot.
Can we just move on, Amy, and just leave me? I know you're moving on. You're bringing the topic. That's why.
Yourself, George. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't tell me what to say, what not to say. Please me yourself. When you're talking, you will talk with my tongue. Let me talk.
That's your turn. Now me was talking. You just came up. That's your turn. So when you give me my time, when I finish.
So when we
Georgia want you to give you reasons so you can go eat food.
Oh my, that's what it takes. But that's too much. That's my little boy. But anyways, he want to come and tell us that. You want to tell us that this is not how it works. When we always tell him that because they always tell me, President Boga go, he ain't bring nothing back. He ain't bring nothing back. The $10 million that he talking about, we want to see it in there. He said that the youth, they were planting trees and they were cleaning up. They were doing I guess they forgot West Point and they forgot the streets of Monrovia. I don't know what part of the country they were planting trees. They want to come here and lie and talk all this thing that somebody was on the rock doing the past 6 years.
You were planting tree around Jamaica Resort.
Yeah, exactly. Jamaica Resort and something. That's where they were planting the trees at. Now, anywhere in something. You want to talk about food? Food come in the country. You're talking, you're divided on yourselves that people getting arrested for. Then when the president is doing something, how you come because you say you don't like it. You have, I know it's 5.7 million. That's the 6 million people in the country. And because you, in your selfish mind, because you say you're not abroad now, you making it seem like it's nothing. But the other people who's there who want these visas, that been complaining about the time given when they get these visas, then you want to sit there and undermine it because George Weah did it. This is really, really concerning. Like it's really, really disturbing that this thing has to be about. If it's not Weah who did it, then it's nothing good. And we're not gonna sit here and be listening to stuff that you can't be lying to people and they shouldn't question you. You want to be throwing tantrum, you will not do that. We will question you on it. But go ahead, what from us?
No, but at the end of the day, we all can see through what these two individuals were about. You can look at President Joseph Numa Boakai leadership style and that of President George Manneh Weah. And I mean, it will not take you even 30 seconds to be able to figure out what you have in President Joseph Numa Boakai, what you have in him, and what you have in President George Manneh Weah. Their leadership style is absolutely different. You have a president in JMB who's very methodical in his approach, very detailed, meticulous. But you had in President George Manneh Weah, who gravitated most toward instant gratificational acknowledgement. And that's not how international relation works. And we surprised that we did not see any, conjuncted, foreign relation, come into play under President George Weah because they did not meet all of the standard to build these kind of relationships. You had a foreign minister who was under, travel restriction, could not travel to the United States. And that kind of like just shut the door on everything else because you cannot in any way maneuver under this international climate without having a good rapport with the United States. America is like the big brother over all of these other countries. It's through America permission that you can have dealing with all the other countries, with the exception of China and Russia. But everybody else, Uncle Sam will have to like, all right, yeah, you can work with the president. But if America's sanction you, you get on the go. You know what I mean? And there's no moral equivalence here. We all can see through what President John Maynard says here was, and what Buckeye's 2
years almost,
is, right? You see that you have a president in President George Maynard Weah that his whole cabinet, if you put their experiences together, I don't think it will amount to a considerable level of acceptance. If you look at the finance minister, you look at the chief of staff, you know what I mean? I'm talking about in key strategic areas. We have to understand, people want to know who's heading your foreign ministry. Does that person have any foreign exposure? Has that person working any, global known entities, right? All these things bring certain level of respectability to that institution. But when we look across, it's not there. We all live in the West. Even George can attest to it if only he can take his political, hat off and face the reality. If you work in a field like George right now, being an engineer in Australia for a couple of years, that in itself, it's something that he can go around the world with that recognition everywhere, But if you're trying to collaborate with somebody and they want to know what you have done in your past, and they see your past only in Liberia, like, I'm sorry. That is not taking a dig at Liberia, but like, what are we doing there that going to put us in the kind of, space where people actually consider us?
Thank you.
But when you look at what we have in Sarah Benslow Yanti, a woman who have worked in that space for decades, right? Know some of the actors and actresses in Washington, D.C. or in France through her UN days and all of that stuff. That brings certain level of seriousness to that space. And that's what we're seeing happening. And at least we don't have a party chairman under JMB that coming telling us now that all the foreign trip that JMB is going on.
Thank you, Ture. You all got
all that money, you know what I mean? Because JMB is going around, that all the money they are getting is actually being given on his behalf. And it's based on the fact that his liking and his likability and his love and his mesmerizing posture that he have engulfed the people for years. That's why they're giving the donation.
Thank you, Ture. Pamela? I think we need to go on.
I don't want to talk too much on this because in the next minute, George gonna run the comment section and say people can't stand him because he speaks the stew. He's a keyboard warrior thing. That all the good for the being comment section. 1 minute George leave the show, next minute he's in the comment section. He's in the comment section attacking. But look, I've said it on numerous occasions that that God heard the cry of the Liberian people. And if you remember in the book of Exodus, God told Moses that he was going to harden the heart of Pharaoh. And every time Moses went over to tell Pharaoh to let his people go, Pharaoh hesitated. He said no. But this, I'm just trying to analogize it in a way that when God, it was God who actually touched the heart of Joshua. That 20,000 vote margin, according to seditions, a 20,000 vote margin was easily accepted. So God softened his heart. Instead of hardening his heart, how sedition wanted it to be, God softened his heart and said, you are a man of peace, as you have always claimed. But your boys, who are a direct replica of you, always in the habit of sending petrol bomb in people's cars and in people's homes. But you are a man of peace. Allow this thing to go. You have already served. So, Liberia is on an irreversible path. With the leadership we have now, before it was suspension, and now it's dismissal. And then everything that the president does, he meets stiff criticism from left-wing activists, left-wing opposition, people who look with the only part right now, you know, I mean, this is how this sedition was smart enough to create pandemonium in the country. One, they brought out this scheme that the country is divided.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing, they are witch hunting our people. The next thing, oh, the country hard, as if everything was rosy when they left power, as if, you know, everything was in surplus. The people were wealthy. The people were eating on 3 square meals a day, and the economy was booming. And then they left in less than 2 years. Everything went back to zero and went back to factory reset. This is the hypocrisy of the politicians we have in our country, especially those one who have prepared, especially those one who are not processed. And somebody became president through accident of history, and today they're making themselves to look as if it was a divine ordination of God that brought them there. No, the Liberian people were lied to. They were deceived. The man who came with the 87 million but couldn't renovate his own home, but in less than 6 months of the presidency built condominium. The man who said he came for the poor people, but the poor people life was not transformed. Liberia became the 8th poorest country in the world and was one of the unhappiest places to be in on the planet. So how can you reconcile all of that? The man who claimed to be this global icon for the sport that brought him to the limelight, but Liberia did not even qualify for a mere African Cup of Nations. We did not even qualify for the group stage before we even talk about the African Cup of Nations. That our home country, the only recognized stadium that we have in our country, was banned because it did not meet FIFA standard. Honor of footballing president. And today we have this noble president now that God has blessed Liberia with, that is endowed with so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and forgetting to know that wisdom is the principal thing that I always say on the show. And that is the wisdom that Solomon asked God for. Solomon who have asked God for wealth, who have asked God for any other thing. But the most important thing he asked God for wisdom. And that wisdom now is bestowed upon this president, and he's meticulously using that. The angry birds, they are all over, just making pandemonium. And if you continue to lie to our people, just how you started with it in politics, we knew how Jawia came to the political scene. People who came and wanted to use his popularity to steal from the Liberian people, they make a fake story in the body, or they make up 87 million. He never had a dollar because he had already spent bulk of his resources on buying houses for girlfriends all over the place. He in disarray with a, I don't know, his children are all over the place, scattered all over. And this is the kind of a man we give our country to.
So
and
nobody
then,
will talk now, my man. Amen.
My man, give me 5
We've been listening
seconds.
now for a long time.
Anytime you know somebody reaching to the point, that's the time you can come into distract.
The quiet man here, but go at the judge.
No, I've been listening for a long time.
Everybody hosting the show now.
Let me quickly
Yeah,
let.
but you,
So President Bouaka now,
This is right now.
who is now in charge and who sedition has failed to recognize up to now. Imagine sedition saying that he's not their president. He's not president for them. And then they are the same one who go saying again, and oh, the thing high in the country and the president can do nothing. Oh, and when it comes to the hardship in the country, that time you can recognize him as the president. But when it comes to you guys and distributing garbage out there, you don't recognize him as the president. But look, this country will be fixed and everything will fall in a respective place, but it is going through the processing time, and we'll get a finished product, and the finished product is a beautiful Liberia. The finished product is a safe Liberia. A finished product is a place where we all that in the diaspora will be proud to say this is our home. We want to go back to, and when we go back there, nobody going to question question us for why we came back. It is because we know that this place is a safe place and it has been set up or perfect for us by a man that God has blessed with the knowledge and understanding to protect all of us when we return home. Thank you.
George.
so the thing is, I'm still looking to see when President Bouaka is going to go overseas and people will pledge to support his government. That hasn't happened yet. He went to France, not France, he went to China. He said he was bringing $30 billion to build a plant or plant in Bikana. That did not happen. Everything has been MOU. Nothing has materialized. To come and exchange Garcia for 2 years visa. The visa not to say it's a guaranteed visa. Or visa they say if you qualify for it, we'll give you 3 years. That you not come back to apply for another visa, but it's a visiting visa. Enough for you to go stay in America. So those who are happy, the thing was 1 year, you not get it. You go to American embassy, your foot tired, you not get it. It reached 3 years, then you think you will get it? People should start wasting people's time. The thing we want in Liberia is to increase the rate of Liberians getting visa to go to America. Not to give them 3 years temporary visa. That's not what we want. That's not what Liberia wants. The problem has always been the denial rate of Liberians for getting visa. It was too long, too much. When 10 people apply for visa, they only get 2 person visa. The other 8 people will not get visa. It was unfair to Liberian people, and the U.S. government was making a lot of money out of that. Because let's say the DS-150, which is the non-immigrant visa that people apply for every time, it costs like $39. And sometimes you go to the American embassy, people who go for interview, they are $20, $50 every day. More than that number. And almost 99.99% of them will be denied visa. And that money will just go fear. And when they're going back again, they will apply again, they will pay another money. It was a money-making thing. It has been a money-making thing for the U.S. government in Liberia. So it's time for our government to sit with the American government and tell them, look, this denial rate, we want to know exactly what you guys expect from our people. Because it's causing a lot of hardship amongst our people. People apply for visa and they don't get it. 10 people apply, you give it to only 2%. That for us is causing hardship for our people. So we want to know, you either want to give us your visas or you don't give it to us. But he said, because our government is so clueless, they went there to negotiate. Instead of talking about that, they went and say, extend the number of years that the visa will be valid for. We say, okay, we'll give you extra 2 years. And then we should be jumping around here when Ghana get 5 years, when even the people, Ethiopians get almost 8 years. Kenyans got 5 years over. Then Liberia, a traditional friend of the US, will be jumping around for 2 years. It's a shame on us. But no, I don't blame Bwakai and his people. I blame the Liberian people who knew that a man like Bwakai, who throughout his entire life had never done anything tangible for anyone to see, for it to be recognizable in the society, will come to them and say, people are stealing. So put me there. I will not steal. I will not ride private jet. I will not be taking all the foreign trips. And now he's taking them more than just we are there. Taking thousands of people, because I can say hundreds of people behind you to go to France again. At this time, they had the list good. Nobody could see it. And then you want us to sit down and be praise thinking. For me, this is why I could commend them for adding 2 years because it will be them that will be getting the visas, not ordinary Liberians. It is it's nothing for the ordinary people. People in Monrovia, they're looking for jobs. Guess what? The World Bank just reported that in 2023, the percentage was 4.7. Now it's gone down. Economic activities in Liberia, it gone down to 40%. 4%.
I say poverty gone down than what it was. That is still World Bank. I tell you something else.
Go and read the World Bank. They just reported yesterday.
That's what I'm saying it.
But if you read it, then you shouldn't be asking that question, Amy, because it's there. I didn't put it there.
I didn't put it what I'm saying there either.
What? Well, I'm telling you that because I'm telling you the truth now. I'm telling you the truth, and you know you read it too. Now it's gone down.
Yeah, poverty.
It's gone down. So yeah, so when it gone down, why should you even bother to interject when I'm talking? Because it did not go up, it went down.
Okay, George, we're not gonna do this. I'm not gonna tell you again. Stop.
But Amy, you are interjecting.
I'm asking you a question, and I'm allowed to ask you a question. How many times I'm gonna say the one thing?
Amy,
she's the host, though. She's the host.
But the thing is that the host.
Stop that.
George,
no, but the problem is that I'm speaking and then she interjecting. That's the problem.
She can interject. She's the host.
Okay, let's listen to this thing. Amy is saying she read a report. The same report I'm quoting from. She read a report that yes, our economic activity has gone down. Right? From what it was.
No. See, if you're
not you said you read the same report. You said you read the same report. I told you the report came out yesterday. And you said you read the same report. That's what you said just now. So I said, if you read the same report, then watch you interject because you know I'm saying the truth. It's in the report.
Complaining and one, you understand what I said. I said the same World Bank. I came up with a report that said that the poverty rate was something that the same World Bank you talking about. I never said I read any report that you read. You must say did not read any report together. So just answer the question and stop making this thing that somebody out to get you. Nobody out to get you yet.
Nobody out to get me. Nobody can.
Just stop whining about every little thing, and let's just do that show. That's it. Go ahead.
Let me say. Formula spoke here for 15 minutes.
Okay. You did not. George, I know you come with that picking man mentality. Formula spoke.
Y'all go ahead. I'll be here.
Every time you cut your hair, something else happen. Every time you cut your hair, something else happen.
I'll be watching your turn. Y'all in the truth. So your turn.
After show, y'all need to stop that. Seriously.
I'm telling you, man, George, you don't want to come on the show. Just sit down over there and enjoy yourself.
You got people watching you. We're not the only people here.
They get murmuring, they're making noise.
Y'all can move on, but I've already made my point. Y'all move on.
I have a question for Formula. If there's no question, I ask you a question inside. I don't focusing on what Formula was doing or what Formula wasn't doing. What is the other topic said higher now? I finished losing it.
What we looking at?
Yeah, that the post saying in the comment section, you picking on me. Yeah, there. Because that's what you do, I mean, all the time. You let to bully people. And it's not fair. It's not fair. You let to pick on people.
Let me
do it as if what we are doing is wrong here.
Well,
not that you're reading the comment section. Because what Amy does. But you guys don't see it because you don't say the truth. You guys, you don't say the truth. You are so biased.
Oh my goodness. George, when I have that show tonight?
Somebody else is saying
I didn't say you don't have your show.
The people
who read you the whole platform.
George, just look at one robot who renting here, they fix electronic.
Yeah,
I know.
that you been a robot. That you been a robot. The robot following you.
Guys, can we please have some stability on this show?
I'm telling you, man. They judge me.
Somebody say,
George, let me tell you
good.
something. You need to stop
somebody say, the person can't even spell my last name. The person say Willow. They say you are lying. Nonsense. Look at, I don't bang out which one. No, let's go ahead with the show, man. Because I know the two always hurts. The two always hurt, and that is international. The two can hurt. So whatever you do, I'll be here and I'll continue to say what I will say. So you go ahead.
But George, though, George,
I will not run away. I will not run away. I will say exactly what I will say.
You were disturbing the
No,
show.
if you want to put in a buy you free, that's your show. If you want to put in a buy you free, and I will go.
No, but you're not disturbing the show. You keep saying that your show. Stop that. This is childish. We can't keep doing it.
I'm saying you go ahead. Then you say childish again. I'm saying you go ahead and make my point.
The show is for all of us. Don't say the show that your show.
No, but I'll show that you can see how you can talk to put that with living with her.
Okay, can every one of us just calm down and just move on, please?
Yeah, come.
We can be doing it on live. It's just not cool.
Every time George
reflect positive on any one of us.
This is ridiculous.
Are we okay? Close the show and go.
Seriously, every time he shows up on that show, this is what we get. This is not right.
Look, we all need to do better. All of us need to do better.
Absolutely.
No, you're putting it on me.
You know what I mean?
You're putting it on me.
Yeah,
I swear, I'm my mind because it's irritating for some reason. I don't know.
Josh, this thing always happens when someone trying to interject when you're having a conversation, and which is always fair. If a host is interjecting, just give her that space. Let you just do a little brief interjection, and then you continue where you learn.
If you don't want to be,
you always get upset
when
someone interject
and just talk. But as long as you come on a show, you will get
it. I think the thing is over. Let's go ahead with the show.
No, you be over and just let people talk. You don't let people something. If you don't want anybody to ask
if I'm not speaking, nobody interject. I'll sit and I will watch.
You don't want anybody to ask you questions, y'all open your home and just do a Facebook Live. But as long as you come on the show, you will have that. I'm sorry, you will have it.
We
all go.
No, let's go ahead with the show. Don't talk to me that I'm your child. Let's go on with the show.
So the next topic we were about to something was let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, man.
I said, George is not a civilized.
If we keep doing this, we're gonna lose audience. We're gonna lose people because people are gonna come in and just be listening to us going.
You should be happy that the moderator for us who love to gain time. When the moderator interject for me, I know I will get extra time. George is not smart. He gets in here, he getting somebody. He gets over from verbal diarrhea. He get running a more hold the.
Want to dictate how to shoot something in the show? I ain't got time for that.
But to be honest, man, we've been doing this show long enough now to be able to actually.
So still be going through the same old thing.
Like, we've been doing this thing for years now. Like the kind of behavior should not be tolerated. We've been doing this. We should be veteran in this now, you know. And to be going through this all of the time, I think it's not only bad for us. It's not reflecting good on our image, and it's definitely not serving our listening audience well. Now, someone is saying that they will soon leave the show if we keep going back and forth like this. You know, you don't know how bad it is. Except if you're at home watching.
Exactly. It's
you know
very
what I mean?
terrible when
it's very terrible. The feedback is really, really bad. But again, these are some of the things that we're trying to build, right? We can agree to disagree. Everybody should have right to their opinion. I don't care. George can come here and elevate the CDC talking point to the best of his ability. I want to check in when he try to compromise us or anybody. That's the only time I would say no, George. That not all of us thinking that way. That would be my position. But I mean, he's a political talking head. He can sell his party, he can sell his candidate, he can sell his president any way he wants to market the president.
What happened to that thing I just had?
You know, that would be at his at his will and pleasure, and people are judging based on that. But we're still gonna provide the space to do that. So that's just the bottom line. But let me say this, Josh, we understand you're trying to sell something that is unsellable. I don't even know say if that's a word, but anyway,
Make it a word.
I will go with it. Joe, you explain tire, no evidence, bro. You had a president for 6 years, and this is the thing that gonna be your Achilles heels. You always have to tell the Liberian people on a campaign trail what did you guys do with the 6 years that you guys were entrusted with. You always have to tell the people the lives that you guys improve, the medical facility that you guys have built that have curtailed illnesses in our country or improve lives expectancy in our country. You will talk about the structure that you laid that have helped curtail illicit money, something that became very, very an issue under your administration, illicit money, when the president literally brought his brother-in-law and entrusted him with our minds. You'll have to caution that. Answer that. And you guys will have to literally tell the Liberian people what happened to the auditors that died. So there are so many things that you guys have to answer to. And that's going to be the challenge come 2029. And to even now try to deal with the reality that is setting right now under this administration, the level of maturity that is being put on display right now by JMB, the international recognition that Liberia is now receiving under this president. And I know you said the president have to tell us what money or what pledge that country have made or commitment country have made to President Joseph Numa Boakai. Brother,
I was looking for the list to read out all of the things that's going on. Agriculture, education,
George, let me tell you this. There's a saying that says that action speaks louder than words. Action do indeed speaks louder than words, right? With everything you're talking about, the president have to do, the president doing this. Look at what is happening in the country. And I know you actually commented on one of the videos that are circulating right now with when the police officer was standing by the roadside with the speed meter, and you commented and say, but where's the speed sign? I saw that comment of yours, and I actually laugh at it too, because but that tells you how fast the administration is going, right? I know they'll have to come up with the speed sign, all that stuff. And a day before that, or at least after that, you saw a truckload of all these traffic, signs and stuff like that being planted around across Monrovia and all these rural highways. So these are some of the things that you're going to see. The president is not advertising what he's going to do, but he's just doing them. But for CDC, it was almost like an instant gravitational pull that was kind of attached to everything that you guys try to do. So we seen a president who's literally working and then allowing his work to do the talking. That's going to be the difference. But other than that, I think this president, he's doing well. Like I said previously, the level of respectability that Liberia continues to gain on the international stage is absolutely in direct correlation with the kind of leadership style that the president is pursuing. And things happen, nothing happened without cause and effects. Somebody should be doing something good. How people say Newton Taylor motion, for every action there is an equal and opposite reactions. And I think the reactions of what you're seeing right now being displayed on the international scene is the work that is being done when the lights are off, when the cameras, when the recorders are silenced. Then the result you're seeing it happening right before our eyes. And you'd be like, is this happening by magic? No, it's happening because the right people are in position. People that understands how international relation works, how foreign policy works, how foreign diplomacy works. When you put people in position, the result has a reverberating kind of effects. And that's what we are saying. Back to you.
Thank you, Ture. I don't know if you want to come. I had a topic here for us to talk about. I don't know what happened to it,
but yeah, for the topic, I got another topic.
Yeah, you can go ahead because I think we exhausted this topic already with the whole front something.
Okay, guys. We Mr. Wimon P.
I thought he's coming today. I'm about to say.
Mr. Wimon P came swinging today. Well, he did not swing.
Oh, that wasn't swinging to me.
He did not swing at the level that a lot of us anticipated, but he did say something that I think family will appreciate because he definitely.
Yesterday when we were talking about it.
You know what I mean? He spoke. It looked like he and family went to the same school.
That man called me to get an issue about the post when you borrowed it.
So the man kidding, man. But I think it was so unique to this.
It sounds good. Yeah, it sounds about right.
And it also speaks volume to how every young person, and this is why I sort of got, I don't really cry over someone losing a professional job. No way. Because if you're a professional person, you should be able to create your own opportunities. So Wimon P came out today. He said this, and I quote, "Working in government is like borrowing someone's coat. The owner can take it back at any time without your consent, even while you are walking down the street. That is why when you borrow a coat, wear a t-shirt underneath. If the owner suddenly asks you for it back, you won't be left naked. You know what I'm saying? So when you go borrow somebody, and basically for those that have the wisdom to understand and be able to decipher, he says something. He said, this thing is very pregnant. You have to be able to compartmentalize it and then contextualize it and understand exactly to which context he was speaking. Because someone once told me that for you to have a context, for you to understand it, for you to have a text, or at least have a text, you must first understand the context. So that's what Wimon P is saying. And that speaks volume to everything we know. Don't be someone who's actually
But the way you raised the point, that book it
out. No. I just gonna free me now and you gave it to the guys. So I'm raising the point. I'm not responding to it. So basically, what he's saying, at least what I understood it to be, don't put all your egg in one basket. So let's come to George. George, what is your position on Wimon P's statement that when you borrow somebody's coat, make sure you wear a t-shirt underneath it, because I pray you can see on Broad Street, say my man gave my coat back.
Muted, Josh.
George, you are muted.
Yeah, Amy muted me and she forgot to
just take Amy name out of your mouth for a second and just talk to the issue.
So as you lie, boy. George,
go ahead.
Yeah, here's the thing. I listen to him, and only very intelligent people will understand what he's saying and the repercussion of what he was saying. So, for instance, you borrow a shirt from me or a coat from me. They are me on Broad Street, and I ask you for the coat. It tells a lot about me than you who borrowed the coat from me. Because there are reasons why you want that quote from the person in the midst of everybody. Because you want to disgrace that person, one, or you want to prove that you have the power to get him naked. That's number two. And number three is that it just tells how, if there's no reason giving for, they'll say, maybe you saw me, we went to a party, I borrowed your suit, Then I dance so hard, you go in my ear for and say, Joy, my mentor that is who I came to church tomorrow. Then when I'm embarrassed, I can go in the pool room and take out the suit and give it to you. But when you go on that damn floor and say, give me my suit, and you not say any reason whatsoever, it tells a lot about who you are as a person who not could to do it. So look, the president's powers extends to where he can dismiss anybody, even Civil Beslow. He can look out for long and say, I woke up this morning and my heart not correct. You are fired. She will go. She will pack us Satoka. That his powers, he got it. What we do want from the president is transparency. Like before, we used to hear administrative reason. You know what I mean? At least give the Labrador administrative reason. Because we want to know, because these people, you entrusted them with a position. And when they are not performing that position, want to know whether they fail in their duties. That's why you're dismissing them. Or because you just want to bring somebody who you know that you wanted to take them to LTA bounds, you wanted to take them to road farm bound. So you are finding a way to put them so that you don't have political lashes. If that is reason, said, tell us. That's what we want to know. The president, we employ him, he owes it to us, even the power he has to fire and hire, we give it to him. So for the courtesy of democracy, if you can even tell us it because of administrative reason that I fired Wilmer for, we will take it. President, we are did the same thing when you fire somebody, you say administrative reason. When we leave Wilson Tappet from his position, he said for administrative reason, that when he leaving, he talking to EPA, he talking from Commerce Ministry. He did all these things. He used to stay administrative reason, at least let Boakai, just for our sake, we baking. We know that he get a power, we give it to him for 6 years. Then he joined it, but let him just give a reason why he's doing what he's doing. If it's a mere reshuffle and say, like he said in one of the interviews with Front Page Africa, where he said he was just to take one rascal from this position, take it to another position, you know, to rearrange rascals. That's what you're gonna do. Let him just tell us. But for me, Raymond, I commend him. If I am in any position, people like Raymond, I want to have them in my backyard because people expecting him to come swinging. His wife said something on Facebook as well, saying she in the tune of he did not want to be corrupt. That's why he was fired. In essence, that's what she said. But he came back joviously and he said, "My man, if you borrow code, you don't own any right to that code. Anytime a person want to take it from you, he'll take it from you. But on what account that person taking that code from you, it tells a lot about the person. So look, it was a good listening. I listened to it very briefly because I was kind of busy, and so. But I think it's okay what he said. But I'm sure the issues are unresolved because we haven't seen any dismissal letter from the president, and for reason for which this guy has been removed from his position. And mind you, this guy was the Secretary General of the UP when they left power the last time, and under this guy's loyalty with Boakai, he tried to, because President Salif did not support President Boakai in 2017. This man had a vendetta against President Salif and dismissed her from the party. They say we won't pay because of President Boakai. So for President Boakai to pay him with this, in politics, we call that self-inflicted wound. So we'll see how it goes. We'll be listening, we'll be following the situation and see how it unfolds. Thank you.
You got one more solution. You got one more somebody to go recruit.
To you, family, my man, what do you make of?
Look,
metaphoric.
They say cola nuts last long in the mouth for those who value it. Cola nuts will last long in the mouth for those who value it. And it is clear that all of us can see on this show that our brother and friend Josh still do not understand the modus operandis or the modus vivendis of government.
Your proverbs,
You don't understand the basic nuances that surround the power that the president possesses. And there is something they call non-disclosure agreement. And you can see that this government is a civilized government. There are some things that the president or the executive, some decisions the executive will take, it will not be seen in the public glare. there are some decisions that the executive will take that the Hulu Balu will be left with those tiny seditions. But the sycamore tree hasn't grown yet to the point where you can sit on it to narrate all those cacophonic stories. Before that sycamore tree can germinate and grow and reach to a place where you guys can sit on it and manufacture fake stories, it will be late for y'all. Because first of all, that half like you're on over there, it really affecting your way of processing. Women pay works according to the will and pleasure of the president. And President Boubacar, in his wisdom and through consultation, no one in this government will ever say President Boubacar has taken an impromptu decision. President Boubacar is not somebody who is impulsive. And President Boubacar is somebody who is very meticulous. Somebody who, that's why they call him Pokolokpo Omen. Because the pace at which many of you sedition who are very pusillanimous and cowardice will always want the president to take decision. He had never one day, because the president is the one who always done his due diligence. The same man today you're beating against, assume because the president is missing, you say, oh, he's an integrity icon. I see where you did that little boy who found the 50,000. When you created a fake story, you get to the ball, and that boy today you abandon him. You're not even graduate from the mayor high school. You're promising that you graduate from. You will take care of him.
Was he graduated or not?
Where?
But we are saying you are going to take care of his school till he graduated.
He was kicked out of school. He did not even graduate from high school before he would even go to the college. They promised him.
Oh wow!
Because this entity is just good at creating fake stories and just for public consumption. That is exactly what they call hastily prepared thing for human consumption. The Madonna cessation of knowledge. That's exactly how George bring themselves to make people to think that they get dominion, they have control over things, and which of course they have nothing. They are very, very lazy and weak. Women pay. He saw the decent environment that was created. He went back. He had a farewell. He told them, in fact, he is a man of courage. He also thanked the president for giving him, the opportunity to serve his country. He said it's a privilege to serve your country. Mm-hmm. He told them, so if you have hair over your shoulder, you know that he accepted his removal in good faith. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think President Boubacar just slept and get woke up in the morning and say, Raymond, you're fired. No. I know that President, and in fact, Raymond Pay was somebody who easily have access to the president. On many numerous occasions, he goes to the president's house, at the president resident, at the president's office, at a rehab resident. He sits with the president and they compare notes. So I know fully well that he and the president had a tete-a-tete, and the president already gave him everything. And beyond all reasonable that he himself saw it, and the president immediately replaced him. So for you guys who are on the other side, who are very good at occupying things, stupefying it, and transmogrifying it, you guys can keep running around with that story. But for us who already know, Raymond was one. Raymond Pay is one of us. He accepted the decision of the president in good faith, and he has agreed to sit on the side and give other people a chance to lead. And he also said they are going to do the transitioning. And, that's a decent government. He said we already set everything in place. The new team that are going to come over, we're going to transition and give them all the information, all the remaining amount in the bank account, everything. He listed all. He said we'll turn everything over, and then we will go and sit and wait. Look, that is the reason why President Boubacar continued to tell his people, his minister, let your position in government reflect on the Liberian people. You your deeds in the government should reflect on the Liberian people. If you're serving in position and people in outside that state seeing exactly what you're doing, then I mean there's no point. And President Baka was right. And I know that President Baka did not take that decision alone. That decision was a decision that was taken in-house. They discussed it with the advisors and everybody. And I think it reached to a point where evidence was given to Pay and the other people. Now, not only Raymond Pay. The only thing going on with Raymond Pay. Now, Raymond Pay and some other people were, alone and the essay there, then they say, look, you guys have served, and I think it's enough. You guys can step aside. We'll put somebody in there to do what it's supposed to do. But I think we should see it in a good faith and say and give it up to the president that he's taking decisive action, and not again where people were beating our sisters on the street and the president saw the video in your office and say, oh, that boyfriend and girlfriend thing, and let them go. And today they say they are seeing they are on Facebook attacking good government and saying that they want to come back and take over. I get back to you, Amy.
So what I see with this whole Proverbs of Wilma Pay is that I think he's trying to silence the people who are acting like they are for him now, because they always like to hear noise, right? And then they're trying to put gas on the fire so it can be like, you can flame it up, right? So they think they're trying to put some kind of flame between him and the president. Think there is something there going on. Talking about, oh, this guy stood against Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for him, and this is how he repaid him. This is the Liberia formula, right, George, that we all say we want to see, right? The right thing being done, right? To hold people accountable, regardless of them being your family, your friends, or your neighbors, right? So we telling us that we don't know why this man was fired, right? So, but I'm pretty sure the president knows. Both of them know. And he respects this man so much. That's why he doesn't want to put it out there. So, kind of stain his character or something like that. But the best thing is for the country, I think you should step aside. Right? They could have had that conversation. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any dismissal letter. Maybe, I don't know what was written in it. I want to start a replacement. And myself like, damn, what is that? But, I don't see it as anything as, their wife, like we said yesterday, that's his wife. She has to stand by her husband and make him feel good and tell him all of the sweet things and everything about himself. That doesn't mean that's the reason why they're firing you, because they want you to take $10 million and you said no, so they say you must go. What sense would that make from that? Like, if somebody, a person trying to corrupt something with women saying, no, that's not me. I'm a male integrity. I got this. And then he go and fire Wilma Pay. And he just think stupid. He like Wilma Pay will just be quiet and not come out here and spill the beans. I mean, how can people just sit there and say something like that? Because I would be angry enough to say, this is why he fired me, because I didn't want to do this and I didn't want to do that. Of course, Wilma Pay, like we all know, he's very vocal. He would come in and say it. So what sense would it make for the president to want to, because that's why they're twisting it when they heard that poor woman are trying to, make her husband feel good, stand by her husband, which any woman should do, and any man should do to his wife, and any wife should do to her husband in time like this. Come out and put good things out there, every good qualities of his, put it out there, make him feel good, and try to, something he from in case he was feeling down about the situation. That's what she did, and people try to twist her words. Or the woman saying that they want her husband to be corrupt, and this man is saying that's what the man is saying. Government job is not for you. It's not your personal property, so to speak, right? It's somebody borrowing, they can take it away anytime. So this is what he said. Poor t-shirt on her head, right, guys? So that t-shirt you're talking about, that's why you shouldn't depend on it. Make sure you got your own thing going, right? Do your own little business. Have your own profession. Don't be thinking, oh, government job. And then the moment they take you from there, you angry all around the place, right? You saying all kind of things, oh, you want to come back, because you know nothing else but to do that. This is what he's saying. That's exactly what his private entitled. Like, dude, it's like somebody borrow you their coat. It is not yours. They can take it back anytime. Make sure you have something on it. Make sure you got something going for yourself. Make sure you got your own business or something, or your own money or something. Don't be things that you have arise. This is the end of the world. This is where I belong. I will stay here forever. Then you killing yourself by doing that. And that's what this man is saying. And I agree with everything he said in that post. And that's why when I read it, I was like, this makes sense. And he's kind of feeling upbeat, writing something like this, making fun of it. And I'm glad, because I was kind of, a little bit something for him. But I said, then again, Liberia, maybe the president knows better. Liberia is bigger than everybody and everything else, right? In the country, no matter what, however this person may have supported you or whatever, if you feel like they're doing something that is not right for the country, that is your patriotic duty. There shouldn't be party mandate party or something because he stood by me in the party in order. So now I'm not saying woman did it, but it's in case he was doing something that brought the country or that is bad for the country because he stood by me the time the other political leader were against me. So I will keep him there. This is what we see under the stage. Yeah, that's why our country is in the mess this president is fighting to take it from now, and everything he does is criticism. They criticize it. These are the kind of loyalty you don't have your loyalty to Liberia, but it's in an individual. I'm not saying you shouldn't be loyal to somebody, but when it comes to the detriment of the country, for goodness sakes, that is your country. That's the one you should owe more loyalty to than this person. But that's not what it was 6 years ago. So that's why when we see these things happening now that had never happened in Liberia before, or maybe long time ago, like is that President Tubman, his own brother-in-law and stuff like that. So if we see stuff like this now that happened like 4 or 5 decades ago before someone came back, then we say, oh, it's very bad, President Boubacar. That says something about him. That says something about you. When you do that, then I mean that you, the ugly person, something is said about you. We need to stop that and start deceiving ourselves and start looking at everything this president does. What are good for the country? As long income for under the psychometry is very bad. People are just crying for the year, visa, the time that people was giving to people. And then they get 3 years and people come here downplaying that. Oh no, your person who not have 1 year, people are crying. Yes, I agree, the denial rate is high. But what happened? If you take baby steps, America is not just something that you think that, give her everything. If you are sitting there like, bro, right now you'll be celebrating that visa or something. But because you're in the woman world now, it's nothing. The people who need it, you downplaying it. And that's what when I see stuff like this, it just tell the hypocrisy and the selfish nature of other people. If it's not good for me anymore, because I got what I want, if I was in that shoe, I would celebrate it. But I'm not in that shoe anymore. I can come to the Western world, the other part of the Western world, anytime I want. So it's not important for other people, and we need to stop that. And I like this. Liberia comes first, and I think woman person in there, and he's not upset about it because every day CDC is looking for a new member. Every day, as soon as somebody starts acting reckless, that person's a very strong person. You take a look at Fonima Kante, Samuel Koga, when he started acting ungratefully to the vice president. Oh my God, Samuel Koga was the best thing ever because it was go get Jeremiah Kun to 2.0. So that was the best. It's like everywhere. Your enemy now will be my friend. Let's choose your enemy to be my friend. That's what they're up to, and it's sad. We need to, and that's what some of us on these shows and listen to stuff like that. We were pointing out because a lot of people are not making this mistake ever again. God's willing, they will not make that mistake. That God our country in the place it was in the first place that we struggling to get out of. We're not gonna do that anymore. If we have to go and warn people that water to rain, we will do the same thing. But we're not gonna go back. We're not going back to Egypt. I'm sorry. I'll give it back to you, Touré. You're muted. Oops. All right.
Thank you, Amy. So look, at the end of the day, that's what we call government. the difference between President Joseph Namabagai approach to leadership and that of former President George Weah is the fact that the president is not afraid of confrontation. In leadership, I think we all can agree. Your ability to be swift, your ability to be strong in doing the right thing should be commended. Not everybody can look at somebody and just fire them. Not somebody that have stood with you for that long. Not somebody that been with you and at your lowest, in terms of what Raymond Pay have been to the Unity Party. But if your wife is not standing up to you like the way standing up for you like the way Raymond Pay's wife they stood up for him, then I tell you right now, fine for divorce. Look, let me tell you, let me tell you, Amy. Women, we all know you guys are very emotional. Sometimes y'all can be irrational in your temper tantrum sometimes, but for all of the right reason, I think you guys are full of so much.
Get me started without women thing.
No, I just believe like you guys are so.
The minute I've met lately, they all got
we're gonna have that conversation, but I just feel like your temper tantrums and emotionally outburst is not in any way in a bad way. It's almost like love and all of that stuff, and we can all agree that his wife obviously did not speak what Raymond Pay would have said. But she decided to take a total different trend that made a lot of people now to have this kind of and then Sidisha went in frenzy.
I'm pretty sure she didn't mean it like that.
When she insinuated that at least my husband took integrity over wealth, and then people like, wait, what is going on? The Women Pay decided not to capitulate to a demand made by the president. So people started to have this, like perceptions and their own.
No,
kind of read into the whole thing. What's up?
How did this woman write that something? She did not say my husband never told something. She said thank you for. It was like a letter to her husband for not taking integrity, for always being She did not say in a way that my husband he got fired because he took integrity over it. That would be a different tune altogether.
No, but
something that she was saying to him, praising him and something. Right. So it's it's the way you say it, the content.
No, Amy. People
want to twist it away.
No. I'm not twisting it anyway. Amy, look.
No, not you. I mean, people want to twist it, but she's not insinuating anything.
But even that way, right? Any position statement coming from, let's say it came from his son or his daughter or anybody connected to Women Pay, like a parent, or you know what I mean, or brother Kima, and made that kind of statement, you have opened a total, you have opened a can of worms that people now have to have a lot of, speculation or viewpoints into that. Like at least my brother took integrity over wealth, or my brother took integrity over his job.
That's not how it was said, though.
Well, Amy, let me say my own how I want to see it, right? You would say that was not her intent, but you cannot say the statement did not meet the level of speculative nature that people are attaching to it. You can say that was not her intent. But to say she did not make the statement, she did make the statement. The statement
I
made.
said she didn't make it the way you're putting it. That's what I'm saying.
But it was made though, right?
It was, but not in the tune you're putting it in. That's what I'm saying.
It's my tune.
That is a big something though, Terry. From the way content matter. You can't. Okay, if I come here and said to Red, you are such a great man You were integrity. You never let your guard down. You are so thank you for the time that we spent together and all the one there. Thank you for always taking integrity over, something like that. Doesn't matter. Oh, but what is Amy trying to say? Terrell was something like that because that's what she said. Well, that is different than when I come and say Terrell did the right thing. Terrell took integrity over this. Terrell did not stand up to sell his integrity for something. Then I'm telling people something went wrong. Then when I'm just saying things that it matters, the tune, literature, so it matters.
The tune matters, the context matter. The only person that have authority over that context in which she make that statement through is only her.
I agree.
Right? We can only speculate in our tune. I cannot in any way imitate in her posture or at least in her tune, right? I'm saying in my tune.
So we were made. Well, then you have to do due diligence. You have to be fair to the conversation by doing that.
I'm trying to do due diligence with how I perceive how she made the statement.
That's where the power coming from.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. She made a statement. That's why she's not supposed to have made a statement. You see, when public figure speaks, right? When people in public space, when celebrities speaks, right? And when you speak with absolute not providing context in which you
gotta pause for Women's Pay White.
Oh yeah, I can find it. But look.
Yeah, please send it. Let's read it to Ray.
Well, I'll find it.
Let's read it right now.
When you speak, right, you opening this wave of speculation, right? What is she saying? What does she mean? What's the context in which she's speaking to? You know what I'm saying? But by her making that statement, you have no authority how people perceive that statement to be. You know what I'm saying? The right is given to you to come and clarify what you mean, right? But without that, you don't have absolutely no right how people perceive that. You can tell me that's not what she meant, or to read the way you perceiving her statement is not. But you, Amy, don't have authority to even say that because you don't know what was it? What was her intent?
Okay, Teresa, let me ask you that. Let me ask you that before Pamela comes in. Don't we always have people who interpret speeches and books and posts? Don't you have that?
We do, but
okay, so you tell those people
it's still their opinion. It's still their opinion.
Amy, it's still not going to meet. It's still not going to meet the author's perspective.
Josh, I'm not saying it's not our opinion, right? But I'm talking about in there. I mean, look at there's something that read it.
Amy,
and let's read it and let's see the way
I will bring it out.
If this woman came out like she was reporting or she was telling the world that her husband was being pushed against the world.
No.
And he said no. And something no. She was.
I did not say that either. I did not say her husband was being pushed against the wall.
No, I mean she did not say.
Can I make a point?
Hold on, let me lay on this, right? I did not say her husband was being pushed against the wall, but I'm saying, Amy, you see, they say what? You have the right to remain silent, or anything you use or say will be used against you in a court of competent jurisdiction.
That
is why it is absolutely important for you to keep quiet. When she said that, right, like I said, she will have to come and tell the Liberian people.
Well, I mean, Modad's wife did similar things.
Well, but this is the thing, and we also ran with that.
She said similar things. She was
also ran with that.
And her husband was accused of corruption, right? And she said similar thing by saying she not telling people the public.
All right, quickly, let me come in now. Let me come in and say my own.
I mean, Modad case is different.
You got it, they're ready.
Yeah.
Ask first. Ask first.
Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking.
I mean, Modad case is different.
And you talk to
Josh.
The reason I
ask first.
Let me learn, and so family can come in. Then that will be you, Josh. I mean, Modad case is different because Amy, women pay is an integrity outcome. in the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah, integrity.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. For real, I'm being very serious. So Women's Pay have absolutely no glimpse of any like anything like that, corruption or anything like that, right? So when that kind of person is dismissed in a kind of manner in which he was dismissed, and his replacement is being made available within in less than 24 hours, that obviously raised certain level of eyebrow. All right. So here, I mean, that case is different, right? Right. Based on us, so I'm just trying to make that distinction. But yeah,
can you send me the post?
So quickly, this is what she said.
Oh, you got it. Good.
She said, "Thank you for making me a very proud wife.
Oh,
your children are equally very proud of you.
Proud of you.
Of course, your God is happy to have a child like you, choosing integrity over wealth.
Oh,
is the best choice any true Christian can make."
Okay. There you have it. She's not laying complete on anybody. Woman propping her husband up.
You are. Let me finish this thing here quick.
Sorry.
My man, are a great statement.
I know you to be a cool Christian fan.
So, posterity will judge you kindly. Thank you for a job well done, honey.
Okay.
Right there.
So
that's on a piece.
For me, I am very clear that the madam did what any true woman who allowed their husband to lay his head on her breast.
Oh, that's not his mother. Don't say it like that. Talk different.
But the Bible says that we always suck her breast. What happened? The Bible says we should always.
My man. It talk about the children sleeping, my man. Go ahead.
But the man who found comfort on the breast of his wife and who will live long. Ask Paul Canoe. That's what he said. So look, that man received the first land of comfort. Exactly. Why do you think they say if the husband say you the street cannot buy you? So the wife gave him that first barrier of defense, and the wife did that. And
from that, 1 second, can we say that she overheard people saying that her husband must have been corrupt? That's why they dismissed him. Is that why she came up with a post? Like, do you think that's a mindset?
In a nutshell, what is the commonality when the president dismisses anybody in the government?
Corruption.
Thank you. So whenever somebody is dismissed or suspended, it's either because of some kind of misconduct or something leads to misappropriation or corruption. That means either the person here, somebody's hands are being caught in this inescapable web. And so the president took an action. So the first thing the woman did was to try to come and to demystify.
Exactly.
And he read that necessary checkpoint and said, "You are a true Christian. You chose integrity over wealth. Other people, they'll be beyond all the money boys and all the lessons and other things, and in no time, in a short period of time you spend over there, you have amassed so much wealth, but your Christian nature, and has enabled you to fear God, to have the fear of God in you, not to do something that will bring shame onto your family. So your children are proud of you. Your wife here is proud of you, and you have served your time." So that's exactly what the madam said.
That's what she's saying.
The other people from the other end, as we all know, we always expected. For me, at least expected. I would not even expecting anything strange. That's how I told people. I say I'm not even surprised in the least when they start saying, "Oh, this, that." For now, none of us knows the nitty-gritty of the entire reason why President Boubacar dismissed this man. Everything that is down being said and being distributed is all based on speculation. You know, everybody can keep saying it. So all that noise they're going around with, everybody will keep going around with it in circles until this is exactly what they wanted for Raymond to do. They wanted for Raymond to come and spill it, and say something contrary, and then when he says something contrary down, then the defender of the government now will come and spill the beans. Then their guys in that secret chamber will be celebrating and say, this is how the children of darkness behave. And that was exactly what happened in the book of Exodus. I mean, let me take you back to Egypt. Whenever the children of God united, whenever there was unity among the children of God, Pharaoh will always send his evil men to go carry their game, the same of fight to kill each other. Say, you go fight among yourself. Because they know that in unity, success is show. So anytime you see people united for something, these evildoers will always go there and bring and sow in bad seed, so that there can be commotion, so there can be argument. But God is not an author of confusion. It's in the Bible. God is not an author of confusion. God not left noise. He left palaver. And that's the reason why our country was built on Christian principle. And because of that nature, people who sit at the higher, in the higher office should fear God first. Now the people who blaspheme around here, to go stay on pulpit and talk different things and go on the other side and misbehave. We're not talking about other people. We're not talking about people who are involved in blasphemy. We're talking about people who truly fear God and say, look, we serve God in the beauty of holiness and he to his words. I get back to you, Amy. Ture, let me get back to you. I give you anything to Josh.
All right, Josh, go ahead. We're 3.5 seconds. Say no.
Thank you. You know, sometimes I think that I shouldn't have studied engineering. I should have studied law. I don't know what law actually going to utilize my intellect when it comes to logical reasoning. And this is apart from politics or whatever it is. But I just possess that sort of ingenuity that can decipher, that can easily diverge, that can easily decipher, you know what I mean? Statements when they are made. And I think it will really serve me well if I are going in such a field, like a criminal, defender, in law. And that's why, from this
Babi say you get an uppers you.
Let that man go.
I got that unnecessary chest beating. Go ahead. We'll give you 10 minutes to get all that time to praise yourself. Lucifer.
You see what can happen. As soon as I'm talking, we're talking here, nobody interrupted. But as soon as you see you took me off my peg, now I don't know what to say again. So maybe I just give it back to you to talk.
George, sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
What you apologizing to George for? Family were talking all something here. What you trying to babysit George?
George, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So the thing is that logic tells us that there is perception and there is the communicator, right? So you communicate something and there are people who will receive that communication, right? So there is a medium to which you communicate, and then there will be time where people will want to believe what they believe. But there's logic in everything people say. So here's the thing. Let's look at the facts and let's look at the context. One of the things we should always be mindful of is the context. Because anybody can say you're stupid, right? I can say, look at the other stupid man. It means different when I say you're stupid, right? It's the same word, but the context is different. So two people will get out, the same person will get out same word said to them, but one of it, he will laugh, and the other one, he will frown. So there's always context in everything people say. The context clue is one very important thing. So here's the thing, right? So this woman husband is dismissed abruptly. And then she comes on air and say, thank you, you chose You chose integrity over wealth. Let us sink in a little bit. Is she saying that her husband resigned from the work because the work was going to compromise his integrity, so he resigned? So he left that wealth that he was going to get from that job. So he removed himself so that he can maintain his integrity. Is that what she's saying? That is another context. But this one, he was dismissed. So it does not fit that anymore. So we eliminate that because we eliminate, as we're going to be eliminating, right? So we eliminate that particular context. It's not in that area because he did not resign. He was dismissed. So now it will come like, was he dismissed because he wanted integrity to stand and forget about the monetary value that will come, not from the job anymore, but from something abstract from the job? Listen to it quite well and then think about it. That's the only context you can take from this thing and conclude on. You got to conclude that, okay, there was something that would corrupt him and he stood up to it. That's why he was dismissed. And anybody, you can be the party defender, you can be CDC defender. I'm saying this from common sense. It's not no politics in what I'm saying. I don't care about this guy. I don't even know him. And even guess what? Even when we say when people told him say that integrity, I can say he's fired. The president has the power to fire anybody. Even when you say, okay, the president can even right now and say, because you get integrity, I fire you. Nobody will do anything to the president because of the power he gets. So why would CDC say this person was fired because they wanted him to do something bad? His wife said it. That her husband chose integrity over wealth. That's why he was fired. It's quite clear. Just do the common analysis. That's what it is. But people will understand it because we all have different faculty. Our thinking ability is completely different. While some are higher, some are low, some are medium, some are this and that. And guess what? It all depends on our training. But when I studied mathematics from high school, when we talk about congruency, when I say this is congruent, when I say I score highest, and this is not both. I know Amy is going to wake up. She was going to wake up from this one again. I scored it high, and guess what? I was shocked because we're giving assignment to do an analysis about having logical conclusion on logic. And I read, and guess what? I got it 100%, and the teacher was so excited because I guess what class I was in 3rd grade. And I can still remember, and that teacher still lives. When we're talking about logical conclusion, when A is equal to B and B is equal to C, that means A is equal to C. That is mathematics. Then we kind of congruent. When this angle is equal to this angle, that means this angle is equal to this angle. But anyway, guys, anybody can believe what they want to believe. But I said from logical conclusion, that's what that woman was saying. That her husband stood up against corruption. And because he stood up, that's why he was fired. That's what she meant in that statement. Thank you very much.
Before you can come in, let me erect certain checkpoints here. George, I can't believe you and I are pivoting in the same direction. You are absolutely right. 100% right. And this is why I was saying that once you open that talking point on Amy, you almost leave it up now to everybody to have their perception and weighing into what you're actually trying to say. And the only person that can equalize it is her. She has the right now to come in to say, look, my statement was taken out of context. My statement, this is what I meant, right? And George, you're absolutely right. Did the women decide to leave? And a lot of people do this all the time. When they see a job that's not in line with their moral standing, they leave. A lot of people had a job on them, madam, say leave. Some of them left from the United States to go there, but when they saw the level of corruption, they resigned. They came back. So there could be a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it could also mean, the woman was just supporting her husband like any good wife should be, and it don't matter what they say. They're standing on business, and the repercussion could be something that they will accept, but does not negate the fact that what she said, she opened it for different interpretation. And this is what we are having. We accept from the start that if your wife not going to stand on business for you like that, go ahead and divorce that wife. But that could be a very, very truthful statement that I made. But I can also double down by saying, look, what she also said, it gave room for different interpretation. Did he decide to leave because the government was pressuring him to give licenses to minors that he did not want to? That could be another speculation. Did he decide to leave because he was not, or the government decided to dismiss him because he was not moving at the rate in which the president expected him to move at? That could be another position that someone could take. So both of these things could be right. You know what I mean? He could be right on his own, and the government also could be right by removing him because the government did not, or see the level of intentionality that they wanted to see from him at the ministry. So that could be true, or at the same time. Yeah, Amy, go ahead.
So I will read something here again. Thank you for making me a very proud wife. Your children are equally very proud of you. Of course, your God is happy. Your God is happy to have a child like you. Choosing integrity over wealth is the best choice any true Christian can make. You are a great statement. So prosperity will judge you kindly. Thank you for job well done. Honey, again, this man did not walk away. There's nowhere that he said he resigned. Okay? Shooting kids, he did that. He would never come up to say, what is the other statement again, formula? When government job is like you borrowing a coat, right? And the owner can take it from you anytime. Hello? He didn't say the owner can force you to do something anytime for you to leave. So that whole thing about could he have resigned? No, it doesn't even hold water, right? Because he did not resign. This is the same reason why this woman made this post, because of the same speculation. People might be thinking, oh, why did he get fired? Was he stealing? Oh, was he corrupt? Did the president something? So what? I have to support my husband. Let me clear that air from out there before somebody think of my husband like that. There is no way the president can be making this man to do something illegal and go and fire him like he's a bobo or a baby boy that cannot speak out. I don't know why that's not resonating with anybody. What, he got gone to a head to say don't speak the truth? Why people out there speculating he will come out and say no? This is not the government that we supported to come to power. They wanted me to do that, and they wanted me to, and this is not. Of course, you sat here yesterday and talk about how vocal this man is. There is no way. I don't know why you're reading this thing in any other way to say, oh, could he have resigned? No, he did not resign. If he resigned, then we could have said what you're saying here, but he didn't. He did not resign.
I mean, I did not see him resign, though.
No, I'm saying no. John said something.
Neither did I say you resign.
Exactly. You said something also, but you your own argument, you kick it down the road.
It was logical concluding.
You kick it down the road. When you said the part that you spoke about the resigning, the resignation, that's when you check out your whole argument right there. Because that's what he was saying. That's when it was going to make sense. If you were going to resign and this woman put this post up, Then case closed. Because why would he resign, right, Pamela? That if he would have done that, gave his letter of resignation, and then people wondering, but why did Wilma Penn resign? What happened? And then his wife came up with a post like this. You don't need to ask anymore. This post says it all. But that's not what happened. The speculation that woman trying to do something, and she's standing by her man by making him feel good and putting out there to the world what her husband is. So nobody might even have it in their mind to think that he did something like that. No, that is not it. And then make him out the next day and say, government job is like you borrowing somebody, somebody clothes suit, and they can take it from you anytime. Then we're talking about, okay, the wife saying that integrity and this could happen. No, you're reading into this thing wrongly. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are context does matter to very, and I'm kind of sad here tonight that you trying to play this. You're not even you taking the same route with Judge, because this is not the judgment. That's the only thing you can take from that. No, Judge, that's not the only thing you can take from that. The only thing you can take from this is that this woman trying to clear the air before people think that, because President Walker is not going to come out and smell a woman Penn name out there. He's not going to do it. That's his son. That's his partisan. That's a strong man. That y'all want to make the whole thing like these boys should be choking each other there, but no, it's not going to happen. Woman Penn is going to be a UPS, and he's going to stay there. So if you're looking for space on the psychometry for him, I think this is the wrong person. He's going to stay right there, because I'm pretty sure that these people may have had some tech before this thing happened. We don't know about it. Everybody here speculating. Do you see they put in shaking? No. What's the name coming on and putting a Bible like that somebody calls to, they can take it from me anytime? That's nothing. Something here. Women Pay, we all know, since Women Pay took over, the mining sector there's nothing has changed. People are still complaining about illegal minings and stuff like that in the forest, booking and bees, all of them. And we all keep on the show that we talk about it, right? So could that have been even lawmakers complaining in our counties, in our districts, all those things, they're saying it. Could that have been the problem? That President Walker would say, okay, maybe you're not cut out for this job. Let's get you out of there. Who knows whether they will find something else for him or whatever. We don't know that. But that could have been the reason, and maybe they both understand it. That's why it happened. So we can't come in and say, oh, maybe they wanted him to get involved with some illegal thing, and then he took integrity. That is not what this woman is saying here. That is not, is way far from it.
But Amy, that is your position, though. And we are saying,
we look at it right here.
We are speaking hypothetically. Amy, you're giving your assessment, your understanding of a rating that the woman made. We are giving our insight into the same very rating. You know what I'm saying? You are not the originator of that rating. I'm not the originator of that rating. Mm-hmm. That rating was being placed for public consumption and public interpretation. That is my interpretation of what that rating is. So I don't know why you so have been on the fact that our position is in contradiction to what the lady is saying.
Because he did not resign. That's why
nobody said he resigned.
No, I'm not saying you said it. If he did this writing, what you're saying would have made a perfect sense if he did.
No. All I'm saying is my position on this statement, Amy, until the lady wrote something that open room for interpretation. Okay, she's the author of the statement. She's the only person that can come and actually tell the world what exactly she meant.
I don't think she's going to, though.
Well, she might not, and it's all within her right to do so or not. But guess what? It is our right to read into what she said, whether it is what she meant or what she didn't mean. It still does not going to change the fact that she wrote an ambiguous statement that opened room for numerous of interpretation. And of course, she's a public figure. And when public figure makes statement like that, people going to have I mean, they're
One
so that's what it is.
has been standing by your man or your woman by making saying stuff, then like that become a big something open gift for interpretation. Then you coming in defense of the person.
Yeah, it could well be like, look,
Dre, I can see your pin.
no, look, I mean, look. Hey, the beauty of this conversation, it is so unique. You know, I thought Farmer
listen to something else. Why he's not so much again.
I thought Farmer
Formula is a hypocrite. You know Formula. Formula knows what we're talking. But he's a hypocrite.
That's why he's not paying.
Farmer literally look at this thing.
I hate I'm looking at Pangana.
We are not indicting the woman for saying why the woman said, right? Like I said, if you're not supporting your husband like that, then you know what I mean. She did that, right? And we have seen women do that all the time. Michelle Obama, you know, stood up publicly for her husband, went through the same thing. People gonna stand up, you know, for their spouse and stuff like that. While you have the right to do that, we too have the right to read into what you are saying and have our perspectives on it. It might not be the
right to be wrong.
It might not be the
just give me 5 seconds, please. So guess what? The whole logic we're talking about, right? I saw a true crime episode from America, right? Mm-hmm. So this guy was married to this girl, right? And then they were having problem in the house. Her ex-boyfriend texts her, say, "Hey, what's up?" She said, "Oh, not bad." She said, "What?" She said, "That the guy giving me a hard time." You know what I mean?
Right.
Then she said, "Tell me I will come and hunt it down and deal with him." Then you know what she said? "You don't even have to look. He right here." The guy came and killed the husband. They arrested him. They arrested her too because they said she called him to kill the guy. Yeah. And guess what? People said no, but she only said, but you don't have to look for him. He's right here. Ain't getting me? Mm-hmm. So then now, logically speaking, the lawyer was like, if the woman did not want the guy to be killed, he would say, don't do it. Ain't getting me? He wouldn't say you don't have to look for him. He's right here. So you see, the thing you say, the context in which you say it can tell you exactly what you meant. Even when you kind of deny it, she denies, she said, no, that's not what she meant. But no denial can obscure the fact that you told the guy to kill.
No lawyer can prove that she orchestrated to kill her husband. It's a conversation on the phone. That
she in jail for 25 years. She in jail for 25 years in Texas. So maybe you can go and talk to the lawyer then.
No, but actually it's true. It's late now. So now
the contest, let me tell you, contest is very important. Somebody can say you stupid, yeah, and somebody can say you stupid. Eh? There are two different things there. You see it? So the context in which the person say that is very important. Yeah. So for me, I agree. This lady was trying to vote for her husband, but what he said can only be construed that he was being maybe forced into getting riches out of the job, and he said no to it, and he stood up to his integrity, and that's it. We can conclude for it. I'm not saying in any way. We can't say in any way whether that
thing is not going that way. If that woman would have said,
yeah, that's Amy's position, and that's
Amy's position. So nothing can change you. That position.
You are not reading
one position in the show, yeah.
You are not number one. You are not reading this thing here to read terribly. You reading this thing as if the woman.
I read that thing too. I read that thing.
You reading this thing as if the woman came and started telling the public, my husband would never do something. My husband gave fire. My husband, no. The woman was talking to her husband. It's different for you coming in the public to defend your husband when people saying, and when she was talking to him, that's also to make, in case anybody had that notion to say, oh, he's a bad person, that's why he lost his job. But I guess everything just flip around and you're putting it the other way. No.
But Amy,
I came to the public and said this, it would be a different thing altogether.
Amy, you said something that I totally agree.
One of the commenters say I look responsible with my haircut. Thank you.
Amy, you said something that I totally agree with you. When you said in your statement, or should I say in your deliberation, because you have made a couple of them tonight, when you said that her motivation could have been to come and clear the air based on what were being speculated.
But what she said,
then that way, I will agree with you in that light. But even at that, she still have not made any effort, right, to clarify what she really meant, right? And this is the thing: the originator of a statement, even if you are wrong,
Ja,
right?
Ja, beg you, please don't put that over me. I rebuke it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
What?
You're aiming political position in Nigeria. Are you gradually becoming a
No,
politician?
that's not my area.
No, but you see, but this is the thing.
Amy, that your Facebook noise maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Amy, let me say this: the originator of a statement, you own that. Any perspective you put on it, nobody take that away from you, right? So that's why a lot of time when politicians speak loosely, right? When they are caught with their pens down, their defense mechanism posturing comes in by saying a single one of the most elusive word in all of politics is context.
Right.
They will say, "My man, you took my position out of context."
Yeah.
Because context, you cannot you cannot in any way draw any context out of a man's or a woman's statement. Even you can interpret it to the best of your ability, where it makes all logical sense.
I disagree with you.
No, wait. Yeah, you can come with a disagreement. Even if you come with every logical sense into it, even if it's a mathematical theory, when that person stands beyond the fact that you are not in any way, indicating or at least alluding to the context in which he or she was speaking to, you don't have no right on the person. They made their statement. They know to which extent their context lies. And you cannot in any way sway them out of that. That's what they meant. And they stand by it. You are taking my statement out of context. This is not the context in which I was speaking to. And if you try to draw any rational conclusion out of that, look, my brother, you just speaking blah, blah, blah. You're not going anywhere. Because the person will say, contextually speaking, you are not in any way speaking what I was speaking to.
But that's what I was saying. But that lady that George, that's what I was saying. But that lady that George was talking about from that movie is a movie.
No, it's not a movie. It's a actual true crime. Not even movie, but a true crime. She herself, I saw the investigative video. It's on YouTube. So it's called
lawyer. Because I just on the phone talking with somebody that playing with it, and somebody then they come to kill you. Then he said, "Oh, that why you something when there's no trace, you and the person had no other a conversation than that, and other no, that can't pull you away. I'm sorry."
Look, guess what? Amy, in Texas, be in your car, be driving. You and Ture, and you park in front of the bank. Ture go and steal money, join the car, you drive away. When they get to 10 years, they'll get 10 years too.
That's different situation you're talking about right there.
Okay. So let me get answer to what Ture was saying. So Ture, the thing is that any word that comes out of your mouth is not yours anymore. It belongs to the public and to those you are communicating it to, and they can perceive it any way they want to. You are right on an aspect where you say you can say this is what I meant, right? But if you make a vague statement that is open to too many interpretations, right? You are not a good communicator, but also you can be held liable for what people do because of that statement you made.
But and that they do talking your whole night. I agree with you.
Exactly, 100%. So the thing is that this lady said this thing, and if she can either come back and say, "I apologize. That's not what I was meant to say."
She doesn't have to apologize. She can
say, no. Amy, let me see. Let me finish. You come there. I know what you want to say. She can come back and say, "I apologize. That's not what I wanted to say." We accept that. But when she comes back and say, "That's not what I meant," we'll not accept that. You know why we'll not accept that? Because in context, it was clear. All husbands did not resign. All husbands were fired. And she said, "Thank you for taking integrity over wealth." your husband fired, and then you say taking integrity
So what
over
happened
wealth?
if he had resigned, George? What
Look,
will you do with this statement?
He did not resign. That's what we are saying. That he did
So
not
what
resign.
happened if he would have resigned?
Then
what
there
would
are
that-
different contexts. There are
What?
different contexts.
George, you see this statement? George, you see this statement?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I want to say
You
that Joe.
resigned because you're trying to get away from something bad somebody
In
want you
this
to
statement
do.
oppressing me.
Yes, Amy, and that what made a statement now to be in the corner we put him in because he did not resign.
No, he did not resign.
Yeah,
You
so
must
because he
have
did not
what you
resign.
understand what I'm saying. If Wemope would have resigned, right?
Yeah.
That would make him to be walking away from what his wife talking about here. He doesn't want to be a part of that. That would
Okay.
make this statement fit into that something right away.
Okay,
But
then-
he got fired. So
Yeah,
that
okay, so
means
listen. So
the
Amy,
president fired him. It's not that to say he was running away from anything. He was there.
yeah, Amy, okay, listen now. Yeah, Amy, listen now. Here's the other context. Yeah, the other context. Okay, he could have resigned. He chose not to resign, but he'll do the right thing when you are still fired. You see it? He could have resigned, but he did not resign. He said, no, I will stay my ground and I will do the right thing, but then get fired. It's still not fitting that corner. It does fit, Amy. It's just logical conclusion. If you match the dots, it's just it. So let's say he stood the ground. He said, no, I will not do anything. That will compromise my integrity, but I will not resign. Then you get fired. That statement still fit the criteria we're talking about here. Amy is saying that the statement from the wife is not matching to the action that was done. The wife would have asked the husband to leave before he could have been dismissed or blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, but maybe they did not see it coming. Maybe they felt that Waka was going to stand by him because he's a man of integrity. But no, Waka did not stand by him.
And John said, and John said, my only problem with George Wheeler, and John said, my only problem with George Wheeler, he's too smart to support dummy George Wheeler.
Man, I always told people I would not clap for myself, say I'm smart, but among my peers, I always get people around. That's why I can always surround myself with smart people. I don't dumb people in my second put it, but it's a good thing that you find I found myself coming here because I know you guys are very smart people. We disagree and agree.
That's all.
Look, here we go again.
They say you measure a man and a woman based on who they follows.
Oh boy.
So guys, it was a wonderful show. That's my closing here. I want to thank you guys. One of the things about me, I am very intolerant, especially when
I'm glad he's saying
that. Yeah. Let me finish. Maybe you'll stop coming when I finish. I'm
the
very
guy signed
intolerant.
the Uncle Sam. Let me finish.
Oh boy, yeah. You play it. So the thing is that I'm very intolerant when I'm being cornered, unjustly targeted. And that's why I can stand up for myself. And guess what? I don't just do it for myself, I can do it for others. I felt that from the beginning, Amy was targeting me. And because we disagree, and it's normal that we disagree, so she will always go against what I say. But in so doing, I will have to stand up for myself as well. So guys, I want you guys sometimes to be impartial and always look at the two sides of the coin. And don't always go on Amy's side. Especially that way, scatter hair when he. You always go on Amy's side. You see it? And the problem with him. But next time I will deal with him. So guys, it was a wonderful show. Thank you so much.
Did you feel targeted too when I was asking you about this?
So guys, let me just quickly close up now because it's
your question too, Famula.
It's 1:00. So I'll answer that.
It's a mindset of yours, Josh. You already pre-notion. I keep telling you, I can't help you with that. But go ahead, Famula.
They said the guy who peels the granuts, who peel grumpy for a blind man, will have to keep blowing whistle so the blind man can know that he's not eating the grumpy. So Josh, that particular whistle, you will keep blowing that whistle. You blow that whistle, then you get that. Every day you blow that whistle, get relaxed yourself, rest your body. Look, what a great show, gentlemen.
Did you
If
hear
you
from me,
come across a
gentlemen?
video, make sure I'm talking to people in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Please share. Make sure you share and leave a comment for us. We know it is kind of really late on this side, but this is the sacrifices that we make every day so that we can at least come and speak on some of the issues happening in our country. So it has become a moral and obligation for all of us now. In fact, for me, I say it's a form of contributing my own quota back to my country, Liberia, since I'm not there physically to do all the things that I would really love to do in a free land, of liberty. That I say shall long be ours.
Absolutely.
So we really appreciate your comment in the comment section. Make sure you share to friends and other associates so they can join us, and let's keep networking. And we're also go sharing the platform with my good friend and brother Josh, and also Batara Boy and Amy. It's also a pleasure sharing the show with you. But on my closing now, there's something that really I thought my good friend and brother Eric was going to come on the show today, because Eric newspaper, his fake paper, he always publishing some fake headlines. You know, everything about that boy is so fake. Since I told Eric your profile photo set on Facebook can even incriminate you, I think you in the basement, eyes looking for you, because the way you look over there, you look like some kind of undocumented guy, and you just saying that somewhere out of depression, you just writing all kind of thing.
And
But
the man I say he didn't win.
you saw the story. The reach uno. The news of reach uno. You saw the story that was published. They published a story saying that the Liberian government disapprove or disagree with the elections in Cameroon. That boy,
who won the election from there? Who won it?
Paul Biya, my man.
Oh
Whoever
my
win the
God.
Paul Biya won the election.
Our great grandfather won it.
Yes, at least we know that since the West want to impose democracy on them, he will take monarchy form of government and translate it to democracy. He will tell them that you can be a Democrat and rule as a monarchy.
Oh my goodness, that is horrible.
So he's 92, going on 93 years of age, and he's going to go for 6 years. If he make it to the end mark, then that's it. That's good for him. But Eric wrote a troubling paper, and he know Eric always writing things that put the country on the opposite side, all in the name of politics. But I called him today. He and I had a friendly conversation today. I told him, I said, my man, you gotta put out your writing beneath one side and put country interest first. He and I spoke today about it, and I told him, I said, the Ministry of Information and the Liberian government will be looking for you soon, because the way you put in the government, you taking the government and you setting it on a path that, because you say today they call the man need on the they call the man need today in the class on the class window there. They say we are the government say we already investigated our man say we already know who behind that newspaper, and it's every purpose. I said, oh shit, my body.
Well, lying
I know that boy can lie. They call it diaspora elect. And the people that judge them sponsoring, and you know, that judging that siphoning money.
You do well for yourself. You do well for yourself. You do well for yourself.
All right, good night, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for always being here and listening to our Tapata and our contribution to Liberia. Like Family said, continue to share this show.
This show is unlike any other shows.
Yeah. Fake electronic, you better pull a profile picture and come from behind that. From let's say you're a robot. I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
You comment here.
Para alguien do.
Good night, y'all.
When you go against it, they find anything for you.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys. See you.
And have a great